Than the right hash for a kicker because he can just push it right up through. Rich going for the field goal to win. Has this ever happened in Rich Rebel football? A field goal to win? Huffaker lined up. Oh boy, here we go. 4th down. Huffaker kicks it. It's up. And it is through. The Rebels win.
Rich Rebel football is on.
Jessen back looking to throw. Ball pops loose again at the Rebels hit him, and Riley Taylor is on it.
After a first-round exit in last year's playoffs, the Rebels return to the gridiron with hopes of taking it to the next level.
Huffaker takes the snap, throws deep, looking for Wilson, and he makes the catch in traffic at the 45 to the Altamont 40-yard line. Kyler Wilson.
Strap in and join us for Rich High School football on Rebel Radio KADQ FM 98.3 with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Auto Farm Chevrolet, Evanston Regional Hospital, by Plains Tire, the Come On In of Casper, by West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, by Cash Honda Yamaha of Cache Valley, by the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, and by mylocalradio.com.
Another give to Hislop. This time he's got some room across the 50, 45.
And now, Rebel football fans.
Takes the snap, keeps himself right up the gut, and Hislop just grabs his shoulder pads from behind and pushes him forward, and Huffaker gets out across the 20.
Hang up your hats, kick back, and get ready to run as we head to the field to join the play-by-play voice of the Rebels, Ryan STEINECKERT.
Good afternoon, Rebel fans. Welcome to Rich Rebel Football on KADQ. Today, the Rebels continue 2A North Region play, hosting the Layton Christian Eagles, a team of, there's some size, there's some speed, there's some athleticism. They come from all over the place, and this will be a tough matchup, but a matchup that the Rebels, at least if you compare scores from the last few weeks, this is one the Rebels should have a chance to compete, maybe even win. They'll have to play well here at home on a breezy and cool afternoon in Rich County. Stay tuned. We've got our pregame show presented by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet, here on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
In Rich County, we know that our children are our future. Helping our kids grow into kind, productive adults is a community effort. This is Rolene Kennedy, Auto Farm Chevrolet's Rich County representative, serving my neighbors for more than 20 years. My kids are Rich High School graduates. When you need a vehicle, come and see me, new or pre-owned. I'll always treat you with respect and honesty, the Rich County way. Auto Farm Chevrolet, we're a community-driven dealer. Go Rebels!
Back on the pregame show, brought to you by Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet. It's an exciting gridiron match for you today, a battle on the field as the Rebels host the Layton Christian Eagles. And let's take a look at today's matchup and what these teams have done recently on the scene set presented by J-Bar Excavation. The team, the tools, and the experience for all or any of your excavation projects. Rebels and the Eagles. Of course, the Eagles, the visiting team here in this one, as we're at Rich High School. So we'll give you the Eagles first and what they've done recently. 1-3 so far this season. They are 0-1 in the 2A North region. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Offensively, the Eagles have averaged 9.5 points per game. Defensively, allowed 32.5. And now, if you really get a little deeper into what they've done this year, they got blown out by Parowan 58-0 in the first week. Then they beat White Pine, Nevada 25-14, lost to Judge 20-7, and lost to North Summit 38-6. This is an Eagles team that, if you're familiar with how Layton Christian works, it's kind of a ragtag group of guys that they don't stick around during the summer. There are 3 or 4 of them that do and have come back for their senior years or for their junior years. But for the most part, it's kind of a group of guys that are new to football, at least as teammates at Layton Christian, and even as the season goes on, they get another guy or two coming in later in the year. In fact, I was talking with Coach, and a couple of the players walked by, and he said, "Are you ready to play today?" And yeah, and oh, this is your first week. That's just so a few guys. This is their first week actually in game action. Despite the fact that Layton Christian is 4 games into the season. Rebels come in at 0-3, 0-1 in the 2A North, and have scored 4 points per game. And if you, again, break that down a little bit, 2 shutout losses and then 12 points last week at Gunnison Valley. Defense has allowed 34 points per game. And looking back at the last time the Rebels were in action, it was at Gunnison Valley. Rebels offense got going a little bit with 108 yards on the ground, 61 yards through the air. Riley Carrillo at quarterback did a nice job. Did throw 1 interception, but in the first half, 2 of 4. 24 yards and a touchdown, and that helped the Rebels get some things going offensively. So the Eagles, the last time out, I should mention last week, Layton Christian had a bye, and as I said before, they lost their last game 38-6 against North Summit. That was at home. And so a lot of inconsistency from Layton Christian, getting blown out by Parowan, then a win at White Pines, Nevada, a loss at Judge, and a loss against North Summit. Looking a little bit further into today's matchup and what these teams did against each other last year, the Rebels scored first in the game at Layton Christian. They took advantage of a muffed punt or a poor snap, and Layton Christian turned it over on downs. The Rebels scored a couple plays later to go up 7-0. Rich scored again a few possessions later after Kyler Wilson intercepted a Jace Holt pass, and the Rebels put together a nice little drive, 4 plays, 39 yards, and Stetson Huffaker ran it in for the 3-yard touchdown run. But that would be it for the Rebels scoring. Following that touchdown, Rich turned it over twice with a fumble, 2 interceptions given away, and they turned it over on downs once, and Layton Christian took advantage of all but one of those giveaways. The one they didn't take advantage of, it was at the end of the game, an interception with 1:19 left, and so Layton Christian just kneeled on it with a 30-13 lead. Every other turnover prior to that, Layton Christian scored off of. So they scored a bulk of their points off of Rebel turnovers, and after Rich scored the first 13, Layton Christian scored 30 consecutive points. Now, this is a different Layton Christian team. As I mentioned, they bring in new guys each year. I was talking with Coach Fotu Katoa, who's in his first year as head coach of the Eagles, and he said we were standing there on the field and talking about his guys a little bit. He goes, "Well, that guy's Tongan. That guy's from Samoa. That guy's from Australia. Oh, he's from Brazil. That's my kicker. Yeah, he just came in. He's from Brazil. Oh, and that guy's from, of course, a couple guys from Utah and this and that, but guys from all over the place." And so it's a group that takes some time to build that chemistry, and they've traditionally gotten better and better as the season has wore on. Historically, Rich versus Layton Christian, Rebels have won 9. Layton Christian has won 3 in this matchup, but 2 of those in the last 2 years. 30-13 win last year and a 41-13 victory the year before that over the Rebels. So 9-3, Rich, in this series. We'll tell you more about that on the Laketown Ledger later on in the pregame show. That's going to do it for your scene set, brought to you by J-Bar Excavation. They've got the team, the tools, and the experience for your excavation project. Stay tuned. We've got the Mound Valley Cattle Company. Where are they now? Coming up, we'll talk with Jared Davis on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. Every excavation project requires the professionals, the equipment, and the strategy to get the job done right. J-Bar Excavation in Randolph, Utah has the team, the tools, and the plan to execute every phase of your project to create exactly what you're looking for. They have the machinery and the experience to provide quality work that fits your schedule and your budget. Call them today, 435-793-5855. J-Bar Excavation, 90 North Main, Randolph. The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper. Welcome back to the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet pregame show. Rebels back at home today, hosting the Layton Christian Eagles, and both teams coming in needing a region victory. Eagles had a bye last week. The Rebels lost their region opener at Gunnison Valley. We're about 35 minutes away from our opening kickoff, and it's time now to catch up with Rebel alum Jared Davis, a 2001 graduate of Rich High School. This portion of the Rolene Kennedy pregame show is called Where Are They Now? It's brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. We'll be right back with Jared Davis on this broadcast of Rich Rebel Football on Rebel Radio. And on
Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho, are proud to support the Rich High Rebels in creating their own path and leaving a trail of success in athletics and in activities, in education and in life. Serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997. Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Ryan Steineckert on the Mound Valley Cattle Company. Where Are They Now? Interview with Jared Davis, a 2001 graduate of Rich High School. Jared, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's talk first a little bit about yourself. Where'd you grow up, and tell me about a little bit of high school.
So I grew up in Randolph. I graduated from Rich High School in the class of 2001. And so I participated mostly in football when I was here at Rich High School, and then did a few other things. But my biggest thing in Rich High School was vocational education. So I spent a lot of my time doing welding and auto mechanics.
And where are you now? What brings you back to Rich High School?
Mostly to teach, teaching vocational education here at Rich. So I run a couple side businesses, Davis Dozer Excavation, and then I run the water for the Belle Butte Cattle Company. But then I teach on the side too. So we keep awfully busy doing those three jobs, but mostly here to teach.
Busy is good, I imagine, with those kind of businesses.
Yes, it is. It's going to be real busy, in the wintertime mostly. Keep us good and busy. So,
have you stayed here in Randolph? Have you still been in Rich County, or did you move away for a time?
So when I graduated, I left, went over to college at Utah State, got my 2 bachelor's degrees in Ag Ed and then Ag Systems Technology. And I spent 2 years out in the oil field in the Uinta Basin, being a lease operator. And I met my wife at Utah State. And then, like I say, we worked out there, and we've come back here. We've been in Rich County, back in Randolph for about 4 years. That's how long we've been back.
Can I ask about your wife, and do you have kids?
Yeah, so my wife, she's the better half for sure. Like I say, she's a doll. She got her degree at Utah State in land restoration ecology. And then I've got 4 kids. I got a 7, 5, 2, and 8 months. So 3 girls and 1 boy. So we keep awfully busy.
2 businesses, teaching a class, 4 kids. How do you do it?
Long days, but mostly it's because of my wife. She's really good help. We're a good team.
You mentioned playing football at Rich High School. 2001 graduate, so 2000 was your senior year of football. What do you remember from those days being a Rebel?
It was fun. Mostly I remember about running the hills, mostly. But we were playing 2A football then, like we are doing back now, so it was a challenge to play football. But I enjoyed, probably the biggest thing I enjoyed about football, I was the punter and kicking the football. That's what I enjoyed the most. So,
what other positions did you play, and why was punter your favorite?
I was actually the center on the line, lineman on everything, but it was funny to see a center kicking a football, I think, for most people. I like to just see how far I kick a ball. That was probably my goal, to see how I get the longest punt in.
What any other activities or sports you were involved with at Rich?
I did basketball 1 year, but I fouled out too much, so I kind of knew basketball wasn't my thing, and so I did junior jazz ball. But probably the other thing I participated in was Sterling Scholar. They put me through that program with my welding and mounted mechanics. So it was the other accomplishment I did, was Sterling Scholar.
Well, let's go back to the class that you're teaching now. Vocational training, is that what you said? What does that exactly mean for students that take your classes here at the BATC? So
what we're training kids to do is so they can leave high school and go get a job right out of high school. They don't need to go to, say, a 4-year degree, even that. We're training kids how to, through welding, how they can get some certifications in welding through welding processes. Auto mechanics, we're starting that program back up again, so they can actually go get a job, say, at Jiffy Lube or any kind of a car dealership to basic auto mechanics. And then as far as our carpentry stuff, we're working through that as well. Same thing.
Talking with Jared Davis on the Mound Valley Cattle Company, Where Are They Now? Interview. And Jared, let's go back a little bit more to Rich High School. Any teachers or coaches that had a particular influence or you look back with fondness on?
Yeah, it'd probably be Mrs. Stewart. She's still here, but I loved Mrs. Stewart, and I got away with a lot with Miss Stewart, but she was one of our weight coaches, and she really pushed us when we were lifting weights for football, and it helped us out big time. But she would probably be the fondest teacher I can remember.
She's had an influence on, my perception was on all the girls that had played volleyball for her, but it reaches much further than that.
Oh, it absolutely, yeah. She's a heck of a lady, and she knows what she's doing here.
Did you have her as, I mean, I know she's teaches in the elementary school now, the PE classes, and the kids are running and getting good workouts and learning about exercise. Did you have her as an elementary student?
I did. Well, yeah. She didn't quite do as much in elementary as she's doing now, but mostly it was all through high school when I had her all 4 years of high school teaching the weightlifting classes.
So I think the football team won a title in 2002. That would have been a year after or 2 years after you graduated, and then you came in just after the 94, 95, 96. What do you remember about playing football with? Was it just early days of Coach Brown?
It was, yeah. It was Coach Brown took over as head coach, and I was a senior, but he was there previous to all 4 years, so he was with us the whole time. Coach Brown was, so Coach Holmes was primarily the head coach when I was there through high school, was Holmes.
Are there things you remember most about, like the trips, hanging out with the guys, or certain plays, or beating Duchesne that time, or things like that?
Oh, I think those are the only games that mattered, really. When we were playing two-way football, was to beat Duchesne and Altamont, and then Kimmer, and then Westside, because Coach Brown's brother coached at Westside, so we had to beat them. So if we won those 4 games, it was a state championship in our mind.
Jared, is there anything I haven't asked about that you think we should touch on about you?
Oh, no. I enjoy teaching. I'm in my first 3 weeks here, but it's awesome. So I'm really excited where we're going with these vocational programs, and I'm glad to have the kids. So,
can I ask what prompted you to want to do that? Running the 2 businesses, busy with the family. Why did you want to come back and teach a class or 2?
Probably my mom was probably a lot of it. Mom was a school teacher here, but living in small communities, you got to wear a lot of different hats to make a living. But we really like Rich County especially, and we like going up here, and we want to raise our family here. So it makes it all work.
Any words you'd like to share with the folks in Rich County that might be listening today?
Go Rebels.
I like it. Go Rebels this week. Hosting Layton Christian Academy. You going to have a chance to go to the game?
I might actually this week, so we'll find some time.
Put you on the spot, Jared. Thanks so much for your time. Jared Davis, a 2001 graduate of Rich High School. Best of luck with the kids, the businesses, the class, everything you got going on.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure, Jared. Thanks so much for your time joining us on Where Are They Now, brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. Stay tuned. We'll be back on the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet pregame show, and we'll visit with the coaches of today's teams on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show. This is Rich Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3 with live streaming video online.
We take your fun very seriously. That's why we put so much emphasis on training and experience with our mechanics at Cash Honda Yamaha. Whether you're getting it ready for an upcoming season, putting it away for the winter, having routine maintenance, or have a mechanical problem, we want to make sure that when you're ready to have fun with it, it's ready for you. Don't trust your fun to just anyone. Make sure you bring all your service work to Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley. As one of the region's most visited websites, MyLocalRadio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit MyLocalRadio.com today to stream it all live.
Tuned in to Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ 98.3 and MyLocalRadio.com. This is Rebel Coach Justin Grohl on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show. Stay tuned in. Kickoff is just 20 minutes away here on KADQ.
Welcome to the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show. The Rich Rebels return home today to host the Layton Christian Eagles. Both teams come in at 0-1 in 2A North Region play. Plus, with the RPI rating system, both these teams need to win to try and get that rating just a little bit higher in the RPI. No one sees the game the way the coaches do, so we'll take a few minutes to visit with opposing coach Fotu Katoa, and then we'll talk to Rebel head man Justin Grohl and get his thoughts on today's game. We'll be back after this from Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. This is the broadcast of Rich Rebel Football and the Wildlife with live streaming video at MyLocalRadio.com. More than 1,300 rural hospitals were evaluated, and Bear Lake Memorial Hospital placed in the top 20 for quality and best practices and critical access. Offering a 24-hour emergency department, orthopedics, home health, a residential nursing home, physical therapy, surgical services, family doctors, chemotherapy, dialysis, and more. When it comes to your health, make sure you're seen by the best. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
At Ellingford Brothers, we're known for an excellent steel shop and quality cement. We also provide other products all year round. Sand and different sizes of gravel for road base and landscaping in the summer and fall. Traction in the winter and mud control in the spring. Bark for landscaping in the summer and winterization in the fall. And topsoil. Spring, summer, and fall, prices are always honest. Pickup or delivery. Ellingford Brothers, your year-round source for so many things. Stop in today at 221 County Road in Evanston.
With Fotu Katoa, head coach of the Layton Christian Eagles. Coach, first year coaching the Layton Christian Eagles. Tell me about, briefly, your history. I think BYU fans know a little bit about that, but give it from your perspective briefly and how you ended up coaching Layton Christian.
Well, it's a good opportunity to work with a lot of these athletes from all around the world, and a good opportunity to build and be part of something special there, to build a football program and hopefully move it in a direction that it'll be beneficial for the kids to move on to the next level.
Coach, what do you know about Layton Christian's history? I know they've appeared in one state championship game, but it's probably tough to build a program. You were telling me about you got 4 or 5 kids that stick around during the summer, the rest are off or maybe don't come back.
Correct. Once school gets out, because the majority of these kids are from other countries, and they leave in May. We get out of school in May, and they leave back to their countries. And they get back here 2.5, 3 weeks before school starts. And our first game is a week before school starts. So those are the challenges, yes.
Definitely a unique challenge. Getting guys that maybe haven't played football before, don't know what a 3-point stance is.
Correct, yeah. It's really interesting to have some of these guys that's never played football to 9-man football, or in other countries what we're learning is it's club. It's like the volleyball, soccer here. It's club football there. So, yeah, that's the spectrum that we have.
What are you seeing from the guys week-to-week basis? I imagine a lot of improvement on a daily basis?
Yes, we see improvement with their football IQ, even with just the football knowledge and just the skill set, and working to put that together as a team, just let's say just as an offense or as a defense, and putting it together, and it's all coming together. So,
just looking at these guys, you've definitely got some size, some athleticism, some speed. So you've got some good stuff to work with.
Yes, there's definitely, we don't lack talent as far as athleticism and talent, but it's putting that talent into a football mindset and putting it into the football square. That's what we are trying to do. So we definitely don't lack talent.
What kind of challenges are you dealing with in trying to get guys to learn the playbook and that kind of thing? How is that going?
It's going okay. They're learning it, and they're getting used to it. It's something that they're not familiar with, to know how to run the plays and know the terminology and learn the schemes. So that's a work in progress. They're doing better.
Considering all those aspects of what you are working with as coach of the Layton Christian Eagles, you might have different goals than just, hey, let's go out and win every game. I imagine that's always there. You as a competitor, that's what you want to do. But your goals for the season for today against Rich?
Our goal or today is definitely we want to come out and improve everything that we've worked on for the last 2 weeks. We had a bye, and so we put a good game plan for Rich. And we want to make sure that we execute that and follow through with everything and see each one of them improve in their individual as well as a team.
Are there things that you've been able to see that Rich does that you're going to pay particular attention to today?
Yeah, definitely we're going to watch. We see that slot they have, so we want to make sure that we defend that well and just make sure that the guys just execute each of their positions well. That's all we're going to do. So it's just execution of what Rich is going to show us, and we just defend it and make sure that we are ready for it.
Name of the game, execution on both sides of the ball.
That's it, exactly.
Coach, anything else you want to touch on?
No, we're just happy for the opportunity to be here. Every day we can play a football game, we'll take it. So even here in Randolph, Utah, where it's already cold, but we love it. We love it.
Thanks so much, Coach Foe. We're only about 15 minutes away from kickoff and today's action, and you're tuned into the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show. Coming up a little bit later on in the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet pregame show, we'll visit with Rebel head coach Justin Grohl on this presentation of Rich Rebel football on Rebel Radio and online at mylocalradio.com.
Meet the service and parts department staff at Auto Farm Chevrolet. We work on almost every type of vehicle, foreign and domestic. We also sell parts and accessories for almost all makes and models. Our staff is friendly and well-trained, and we are here to serve you. Open Monday through Friday beginning at 7:30 a.m. We invite you to Auto Farm Chevrolet for all your parts and for all your service needs. 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a community-driven dealer.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at Westar Printing design your business cards. Now with same-day and next-day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. Westar Printing, 307-789-5202.
Welcome back to the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet pregame show. We're in the middle of the Coaches Show, brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. The Eagles have won the last 2 years in this series. The Eagles won 2 years ago here at Rich and last year down at Layton Christian. Big one today for both teams as they both come in at 0-1 in the 2A North. Stay tuned. We'll be right back to hear from Rebel head coach Justin Grohl and how his team plans to earn the win today against the Eagles on the Wildlife and My Local Radio. More than 1,300 rural hospitals were evaluated, and Bear Lake Memorial Hospital placed in the top 20 for quality and best practices and critical access. Offering a 24-hour emergency department, orthopedics, home health, a residential nursing home, physical therapy, surgical services, family doctors, chemotherapy, dialysis, and more. When it comes to your health, make sure you're seen by the best. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care. When you enter the city limits of the town of Woodruff, the sign welcomes you to a place with the coldest temps and the warmest hearts. Settled in 1870, we celebrate the values of kindness, compassion, and friendliness, knowing a community's greatness may best be measured by the compassionate actions of its members. Mayor Scott Sabian, council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson, with Secretary Lisa Bell, welcome you and say, Go Rich Rebels! With Rich Rebel football coach Justin Grohl. Last Friday, a much closer game. I thought overall you looked, your team played a lot better, had a close game. You had a lead for a good portion of the game.
Yeah, we just didn't finish. Our offense has started to move it a little bit. Now we got to continue that and get a little bit better. And then we just need to learn how to finish. And I think if we can do those two things, things will change around for us.
You had early on, you forced that fumble. You took advantage of that drive, that possession deep in Gunnison Valley territory. Flint Silva had a great punt return, set you up again. You couldn't score. There are a couple times that you stalled inside their 10-yard line. Is that what you're talking about? Got to finish.
Yeah, we've got to finish on that. And there's just a few things that we needed to look at, and one or two just small things, and we would be able to finish it. So we just got to clean a few things up and learn how to step up in the time when you get that opportunity.
How did you feel about the performance from Riley Carrillo in his first varsity start as a sophomore?
You know, he did well. He threw some really, really good passes. Then there was a few times that he got kind of nervous and threw over their heads, and that there was a few times that he did really, really well on running, and then some that he had the opportunity to go run and get a first down, and so that comes as he gets more experience. He'll be able to decide those a little bit better and see the field. But I think he, as a starter, the first time and being thrown in at that speed and that he's come a long way.
some little tweaks. There was a couple times when, as you said, he could have run, but he's looking downfield, right? Which is what you want your quarterback to do. Look downfield first, keep your eyes downfield, but he's got to recognize those differences.
Yeah, he's got to be able to know, you know what, if they're back off the receivers, even if I can kind of get it in there, sometimes you just tuck it and run, get first down. Let's move the sticks and get it that way, and then we have a fresh set of downs instead of a third or fourth down.
Looking ahead to this weekend's opponent, Layton Christian, the Eagles come in at 1-3. They beat a team out of Nevada, so I don't know how much you can learn from that win, but their other games have not been too close. So what do you know about the Eagles?
They're very fast. You know, they've got some really, really fast guys. They got a nice receiver that you get it in the vicinity, he's going to pretty much catch it. So, you know, we're looking at that. Their back is big. He likes to run, and so we'll have to stop that. And then on the defense line, they've got some really big kids. There's a couple of them that we're going to have to look at and see what we can do to slow them down and that. But they're going in 1-3 and we're going in 0-3, but it could change, you know. So we're going to change some things and just tweak a few things and get ready and hopefully, you know, that'll lead us to a victory.
Do you feel like this is a pivotal point of your season with Layton Christian the next week, North Summit? Those are two of the weaker opponents. After that, things get tough again with Duchesne and others. Is this a critical time for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, this game here is going to be really pretty critical. Like I said, we let one get by us last week, and this week, you know, is kind of the same way. We just have to step up and do it, and this time, you know, finish instead of let it slip away.
We've talked about, and you've said one of the keys that you're going to need to do is build confidence. So do you feel like that was built a little bit on Friday?
I do. You know, they learned that we can start moving the ball, and they started believing in each other. Now we just have to continue that and get a little bit better. So if we can do that, we should be able to have a good showing.
Coach, anything else you want to touch on?
Thanks for the support and everybody get out for this home game so that we can have the support and it helps when you're on your home field and you get a lot of people there cheering you on. It helps these kids.
Justin Grohl of the Rich Rebels, thanks for your time. Good luck with Layton Christian Friday.
Thank you so much.
You've been tuned in to the Coaches Show, brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. We're down to crunch time as this thing kicks off in less than 10 minutes. You're tuned in to the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet pregame show of Rich Rebel football. Stay tuned. When we return, we've got the Laketown Ledger, the Town and Country Realty Green Scene, epic recreation keys of the game, plus the starting lineups on the Wildlife and my local.
If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep. In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, LSR Refrigerated, and the Walletines in Garden City. Darren, Tricia, and the entire Walletine clan wish the Rebels good luck. And by CAD Answer Technical Services, proudly supporting the Rich Rebels. The staff at CAD Answer Technical Services wish the Rebels good luck on the field, on the court, in the classroom, and in life.
Go Rich Rebels!
Welcome back to the pregame show brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Rebels hosting the Layton Christian Eagles today, and it's been an interesting week trying to get a roster from Layton Christian. They've been adjusting it and changing it as the week has gone on. In fact, got a roster from the team earlier this week. and then another one today, and then talking with coaches once they got here to the field. I got 2 more players that were not on the roster. They said, oh, yeah, don't forget number 20, don't forget number 11. We got those 2 guys as well. And so a roster that's undergone some changes in the last few hours, apparently, for Layton Christian Eagles. And I know at least a couple of guys are getting their first action of the season, actually in-game action today for this Layton Christian team. So an interesting matchup as Layton Christian comes in at 1-3, the Rebels at 0-3. This is a 2A North Region matchup. So on top of the added importance of the RPI rating and needing to win games to improve your win-loss percentage and keep your opponent's win-loss percentage thing, all those type of factors, it's a 2A North Region game. So the Rebels need to win this game, especially being here at home. And this is a pivotal point in the season, I think, for Rich. Last week at Gunnison Valley, today with Layton Christian, and next week at North Summit. If you look at what other teams are doing and comparing scores and things like that, these 3 games are the 3 most winnable games on the schedule for Rich. Now, that's not to say they can't beat Duchesne or they can't beat Monticello later in the season, but those teams look a bit tougher. And so today and next week are the games, are a couple of games that Rich really needs to buckle down, earn some wins, and to get some numbers in that wins column. We'll see what kind of work the Rebels were able to put in during the week. They had a good performance last week at Gunnison Valley. Things really took off compared to the week before, compared to the 2 weeks before, rather, against Bear Lake, and then the opening week against Kanab. A couple interesting notes. Bear Lake, after beating Rich, went out and I think at Jackson beat the Jackson Bronx, a 4A, or 3A rather, Wyoming school. But then last week I think got shut out by, was it Marsh Valley or one of those other teams in their district up in 2A Idaho. I think it was a 13-0 loss. So Bear Lake 2-1. Kanab recently, last week, beat Parowan 34-20. So if we want to really, this is a bit of a stretch, but it gives us a little bit to compare on. Kanab beat Parowan 34-20. Parowan beat Layton Christian 58-0. But that was about a month ago, first week of the season. So don't look too much into that. Something else, don't look too much into the RPI ratings that were released earlier this week. Millard at number 1, just a spot ahead of Beaver at 2. Milford, followed by Monticello and Duchesne, round out the top 5. Kanab at number 6. I think that's probably about where you'd rank teams if you were to put out a top 5 like media poll or coaches poll. But things will certainly shake themselves out a little bit more, or maybe quite a bit more, as the season wears on. But if you're interested in checking out those RPI ratings, you can go to uhsaa.org and take a look at those. Those will determine playoff seeding in the end. And I got to admit, I was looking at that. I spent a good little portion of time today trying to figure out, because the Rebels' opponent's win percentage is listed at .389. And the rule says it's not, you don't take win-loss and then figure out the percentage of your opponents, because if you take that, the Rebel opponents are 6-5. That's an above 500 win-loss percentage. What they do is they take an average of percentage on the win-loss and average that together. But still, the number doesn't add up, because the Rebels, if you figure it out, it was so Bear Lake is 2-1. That's a 667. Kanab is 4-1, I believe, or 3-1. That's a 750 win percentage. And then Gunnison Valley 1-3 is like a 250 win percentage. Add those together, average it out. The Rebels' opponent's win percentage should be closer to like 55 or a .555. So I'm not sure exactly how that math is being done. I know having Bear Lake in a different state tweaks things out a little bit, and especially when you look at opponents' win percentage, that they just assign a random 500 win-loss percentage for opponents' when those opponents' are out of state. So Bear Lake's opponents from Idaho on the RPI rating for Rich are just assigned the 500 win-loss percentage. So it'll be interesting to see how this all shakes out at the end of the season. We're in the pregame show, brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with your Lake Town Ledger, the Town and Country Realty Green Scene, Epic Recreation keys of the game, and your starting lineups when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Early Oregon-bound immigrants traveled through the Bear Lake Valley. U.S. Highway 30 basically follows the Oregon Trail. Many wagon trains stopped at Thomas L. Pegleg Smith Trading Post, located near Dingle, Idaho, for supplies. One traveler wrote of camping along Cotton Line Bear River, watching grass as tall as a man wave in the wind. Today, you don't have to ride in a wagon to visit Bear Lake Valley, but the rich history is still here to enjoy. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
In Rich County, we know that our children are our future. Helping our kids grow into kind, productive adults is a community effort. This is Rolene Kennedy, Auto Farm Chevrolet's Rich County representative, serving my neighbors for more than 20 years. My kids are Rich High School graduates. When you need a vehicle, come and see me, new or pre-owned. I'll always treat you with respect and honesty, the Rich County way. Auto Farm Chevrolet, we're a community-driven dealer. Go Rebels!
Welcome back to the field and your pregame show brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Auto Farm Chevrolet, a community-driven dealer. You can have confidence that your neighbors, your friends, your folks who grew up in the area, you can trust them as if you're going to buy a car and go to Auto Farm Chevrolet. The time to take a look at the Lake Town Ledger. And Lake Town Ledger is brought to you by the town of Lake Town. Good luck, Rebels, from the mayor and town council of Lake Town. Looking back at the history between these two teams, they've met 12 times since 2005, once or twice in the playoffs. And for the first 6 years in a row, it was all Rebels. In fact, the Rebels dominated. The closest game in that time period was 27-7, a 20-point win. No, a 19-point win in 2008, 39-20. But then the Eagles beat Rich in 2011, 12-7. Rich won 3 in a row from 12 to 15-16. But then the last two games have belonged to Layton Christian, 41-13 2 years ago here at Rich, and last year at Layton Christian on a wet, sloppy field. Rich scored the first 13 points. Layton Christian scored the next 30 to win 30-13. So in 12 matchups, the Rich Rebels have 9 wins. The Layton Christian Eagles have 3. Rebels lead the series 9-3, but Layton Christian has won the last 2 straight. That's your Lake Town Ledger, brought to you by the town of Lake Town, mayor and town council. Let's move along to your green scene, brought to you by Town and Country Realty, selling Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. Pam Cornea, give her a call at 435-779-0012. That's 435-779-0012. A cool afternoon here in Randolph. And, in fact, you may have heard me mention earlier in the pregame show that as I was talking with one of the coaches from Layton Christian, one of his guys walked by. He had on the Florida Gators shorts, right, white with the blue and red. And he goes, Coach, it's not like this in Florida. He was feeling the chill. It's currently 50 degrees. According to my weather app, it says feels like 43. We do have a breeze coming in from the north, and that's bringing in, I guess for late September, it's an Arctic chill. For folks who are familiar with Rich County, this is just another day in September, maybe a little cooler than normal. But, boy, if you talk about the kids getting out to play football, the guys on the field, this is going to be just about right. They get moving, get warmed up, and this cooler weather is just about ideal for those guys wearing the pads out on the field. So not a bad day. So a few fans here from Layton Christian, big coaching staff here, Rebel fans filtering in as we get set for the first home game since a few weeks ago, actually, since Rich hosted the Kanab Cowboys to open the season. And, again, a cool afternoon. Wind whipping around. As I said a minute ago, the wind was coming from the north. Now, as I look back at the flag, it was coming from the west. And as I say it changes directions back to the north and then back to the west. So the wind may play a factor in today's game, especially for a team like Layton Christian that throws the ball quite a bit or quite often.
just a quick eye check, I think they throw the ball about 50% of the time compared to running the football. So this is the win certainly may play a factor, and the Rebels' defensive secondary had better be ready. Layton Christian has a couple of very good and fast receivers. Got to watch out today for number 2, a junior Derek Ryder. He's got 2 receiving touchdowns on the season. One of them was against North Summit as a simple 10-yard button hook to the inside route, and he caught the ball, made a move, broke a couple tackles, and then beat everybody to the end zone for the score. So keep an eye on number 2, Derek Ryder. Ulrich Sutton, another guy to watch out for. He's a senior with some serious speed, and same with Armel Kayateri, who has a 1 receiving touchdown on the season. Running back is big number 4, William Johnston, and we'll keep an eye on him too. Not super fast, but boy, he's a low bowling ball type guy, low center of gravity, very strong. That's your Green Scene, brought to you by Town & Country Realty, selling Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. Pam Cornea, 435-779-0012. Let's jump into your Epic Recreation keys of the game as captains meet at midfield for the coin toss. Your keys of the game are brought to you by Epic Recreation. Visit epicrecreation.net for all your rentals in Bear Lake, whether it's out on the lake or up in the hills. Epicrecreation.net has what you need. Rebels' number 1 key is win the turnover battle. Last October 12th, the Rebels took advantage of 2 early turnovers and built a 13-0 lead at Layton Christian. But from that point on, Rich gave it away on 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions. The Eagles poured in 30 unanswered points and won the game convincingly. Last Friday night, Gunnison Valley recovered a Rebel fumble and returned it 95 yards for a touchdown, flipping the momentum and changing the game. To keep it close today, the Rebels must win the turnover battle. Key of the game number 2, assignment D. You'll see during today's game that Layton Christian's pre-snap lineups look similar to the Rich Rebel offensive spread formations. The principle is pretty simple: spread the defense out to create some space. Judging by the Eagles' first 4 games, Layton Christian will air it out frequently, trying to take advantage of mismatches on the outside. But make no mistake, these Eagles can and will use that space created by the spread formation to run the football. To stop this type of offense, the Rebel defenders have to do their jobs. They've got to trust each other and play solid assignment D. Let's jump outside of the Epic Recreation keys of the game for just a moment. Rich won the toss, deferred, and Layton Christian will receive. Back in your Epic Recreation keys of the game, run, Rebels, run. Last week at Gunnison was by far the Rebels' best offensive output of the season. They got the running game going, they had more success through the air, and scored more points. Rich gained 3 yards rushing in the first 2 weeks combined. And then last week at Gunnison ran for 108 yards. That's actually a 3,600% increase. Now, while that leaves plenty of room to grow, the improvement was a huge part of keeping the game close. This is a pivotal point in the Rebel season, with today and next Friday looking like winnable games. And if the Rebels have a goal of making the playoffs, they must, well, to quote Pink Floyd, run like hell. Run, Rebels, run. Back with more of the pregame show on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
We take your fun very seriously. That's why we put so much emphasis on training and experience with our mechanics at Cash Honda Yamaha. Whether you're getting it ready for an upcoming season, putting it away for the winter, having routine maintenance, or have a mechanical problem, we want to make sure that when you're ready to have fun with it, it's ready for you. Don't trust your fun to just anyone. Make sure you bring all your service work to Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley. As one of the region's most visited websites, MyLocalRadio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit MyLocalRadio.com today to stream it all live.
We just finished the Pledge of Allegiance and honored the flag a bit and got through your Epic Recreation keys of the game. Again, visit epicrecreation.net or find them on Facebook. Oh boy, we don't have our scoreboard camera working. We're going to have to aim that thing correctly. Let's see. While we get that webcam, that scoreboard camera working. Rob, can you see if the camera's actually on? Can you see that screen on the outside there, if it's showing anything? We're going to have to, I thought I'd had that going. In the meantime, we'll get that working in a second. Your station on main scoreboard. We'll give you some starting lineups. Layton Christian will kick, and they're the visitors, so we'll give you their defensive lineup first, and the Rebels' offensive lineup here in a moment.
Kicker for the Rebels, back to receive.
Let me.
Number 2, Sutton, and number 2,
Oops.
Ryder, and
Let's
number 3,
add
Sutton.
video source. My apologies. I thought I had this. I did have this camera working, but it just, for whatever reason, is not. There we go. We'll get that lined out here in a bit. Just move it a bit that way. All right. So Layton Christian will kick off. We'll give you their starters here in just a moment. Just about, Rich is kicking off. Thank you, Rick. Rich kicking off, and Layton Christian will be on defense, or on offense to start this game. Rebels kick it off. It's high over Ryder's head and into the end zone for a touchback. Layton Christian will start at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Layton Christian's offense up front, some big boys. Junior Bill Lenedrick, a number 70, number 56 senior, Maxim, I don't know how to say that name, Hoshalenko. In fact, coaches said, we have no idea. We just call him Max. Junior center, 6'1", 270-pound, Fayamani Vaitaki. Right guard is 72, a senior, Adam Mincy, and the tackle on the right side is freshman, number 77, Sisoni Felila. Back to throw, Coulter Wheelwright. Ball fake, throws down the sideline looking for Ryder, and he just misses. Ryder was open, but it falls incomplete. Again, intended for Derek Ryder, a junior who has 2 receiving touchdowns already this season. The other defensive starters, or offensive starters rather, for Layton Christian. Quarterback is a senior, number 34, Coulter Wheelwright. Running backs are junior William Johnson, number 4, and Armel Kayateri, number 8. Give to Johnston in the backfield, trying to run right. The Rebels get good penetration and bring him down back at the 19. A loss of 1 on the play brings up a 3rd down and 11. Wide receivers are senior number 3, Ulrich Sutton, a sophomore number 5, David Brown, and a junior number 2, Derek Ryder. Rebel defensive starters coming in a moment. 3rd down and 11, Wheelwright in the shotgun, Johnston on his right hip, 2 receivers wide left, 2 wide right. Wheelwright lifts a leg, send a man in motion, nobody moves. The snap to Wheelwright is low. He scoops it up, pressure comes, gets away from one, gets away from another, and then he's hit hard and sandwiched between 2 Rebel defenders back at the 15-yard line, a loss of 4. Rebel defensive starters are up front. Riley Taylor and Riley Carrillo on the ends, Jaden Rao and Bridger Weston at tackles. Linebackers, Jaden Grohl, Stetson Huffaker, Kyler Wilson, Corgan Conk. Cornerbacks, Connor Greer and Flint Silva, and free safety, Hayden Meek. All right, so let me get this camera situated on our, again, the scoreboard. Apologies, as Layton Christian lines up to punt this away from their own 15-yard line. Nice left-footed punt, wobbly spiral, a low-line drive. Rebels just have to back off. Punted well, rolls down to the Rebel 37-yard line, and that's where Rich will take over, 1st and 10. So the Rebel defense does its job to force a 3 and out. Our opening kick was brought to you by Bear Lake Physical Therapy, helping Rebels get back in the game since 1998. Bear with me here as I get that scoreboard camera onto a few other of our spots within the presentation, within the broadcast today. Rebels 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. 10 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first quarter, brought to you by the Crawford Trough. Meek in motion with Carrillo under center. Riley takes a snap, runs the option, right side, spins away from one tackler across the 40 to the 41-yard line, and a decent gain on 1st down. That's been one of Carrillo's strengths, is running the football. 20 carries for 75 yards so far this season. That one goes for 4 yards and brings up a 2nd down and 6. The Rich Rebel offense, lineman from left tackle to right tackle. We'll give you that in a sec as Carrillo is lined up ready to go. 2 receivers right, 2 wide left. Grohl comes in motion from right to left. Carrillo takes the snap, fakes the handoff, running the option again out the the left side, and he's chased down in the backfield. Managed to get almost back to the line of scrimmage at the 40, a loss of 1. Colton Johnson, James McKinnon, I should say junior Colton Johnson, sophomore James McKinnon, sophomore Justin Adams at center, sophomore Hayden Weston, and senior Bridger Weston. Those are your linemen from left to right. Wide receiver number 2 is senior Flint Silva, along with senior number 20 Kyler Wilson. Slot / running backs are Hayden Meek, a junior number 8, and Jaden Grohl, a junior number 25. Grohl in motion. Stetson Huffaker, the running back. Misdirection, they give to Meek, right side. He finds some room. He's wrestled down right at the first down marker. Both line judges come in at about the 38-yard line, and Meek is on the ground in some pain. He did pick up a comprehensive family dental first down, but is very slow to get up. In fact, still on the ground. They'll spot it out at the 48-yard line, an 8-yard gain. Injury on the field. We'll take a quick timeout and be right back on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
What could be better than a fresh, mouth-watering burger from the Crawford Trough in Randolph? Top it with cheese and thick-cut bacon, or throw in some mushrooms and make it a double. Now we're talking. Add home-cut fries and a creamy shake, and you might just think you're in paradise. With crisp salads and tasty wraps, plus onion rings, perfectly cooked chicken, cold drinks, and silky smooth ice cream, the Crawford Trough is the place to eat and drink at 120 South Main in Randolph.
Quick injury timeout, and we're right back on the field. Give up the middle, Stetson Huffaker. Held up initially, but finds a little bit of space and drives across the 50-yard line into Layton Christian territory. Huffaker picks up 3-4 yards to the Eagles' 47-yard line. They actually spotted that last play at the 49, so I got to adjust my stats, give Meek the 9-yard gain. It's his right leg, and I'm not going to speculate any further than that, but he was helped off the field and not putting any weight on his right leg, being tended to currently. I formation behind Carrillo, 2 receivers right. Riley turns and gives to Conk. Riker finds some room right up the middle, lowers the shoulders, and drives inside the 40. Riker Conk with a nice big gain. Clear to the 38-yard line of Layton Christian. That's 9 yards for Conk. Riley came into there, Riker rather, had not carried the football this season. That's his first varsity carry. Sophomore, no, this is Stetson Huffaker in behind Carrillo. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Ball right in the middle of the field. Carrillo back, looking to throw. Pressure comes. He tries to get away. Tries a pass. It's tipped, and picked off by Will Johnston. Running to his left, Stetson Huffaker chases him down. And that was just unfortunate because it was almost like Rich was trying to set up a screen pass or have a receiver to dump it off to, but it was just tipped one time too many. And Will Johnston, who will get probably a heavy dose of running the football today, was in the right place at the right time. Layton Christian takes over at the Rich 42, first quarter, 7:37 left in the Crawford Trough in Randolph first quarter. Wheelwright in the shotgun. Handoff and picking his way forward for just a minimal gain is Armel Kayateri, the senior. Armel Kayateri picks up 3 to the Rebel 39-yard line. Second down and 7. Layton Christian in the middle of the field, attacking left to right at mylocalradio.com. And if you're tuned in live at KADQ FM 98.3. Wheelwright looks over the middle, finds Ryder, makes the catch, breaks a tackle or 2 to the 25 and down to the 20 before he's finally brought down. Nice throw. Wheelwright found Ryder in stride. Jaden Rao on the tackle for Rich, and a timeout on the field for the Rebels, all the way down to the 20, 19 yards on the completion. We'll take a quick timeout as well and be right back on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
Coming out of the timeout, Rebels and the Layton Christian Eagles. No scores about midway through the first quarter. Rebels forced a 3-and-out, but then had a drive going through an interception, which gave Layton Christian the football, and the Eagles have a drive moving. Will Johnston on Coulter Wheelwright's left hip. Wheelwright takes the snap, quick throw out to the left side. He's got his man in the backfield. Shifty move to get free, but then 2-3 Rebels stuff him and bring him down. The completion was made to Edmondson Lenedrick. They call him Rocky. He's a junior. And ends up losing a few yards back to the 24-yard line, a loss of 4. Wheelwright again in the shotgun. 3 receivers right, 1 man on the short side left of the left sideline. Wheelwright takes the snap, fakes a handoff, keeps it himself, running right, grabbed by the jersey, and Bridger Weston just would not let go. Drug him down. Wheelwright pulled forward like a tractor pull for a gain of about 4, just outside the 20-yard line. Wheelwright has 2 rushing touchdowns this season. Not sure, I guess if we add up, he's thrown 2 touchdown passes to Derek Ryder. Takes the snap on a 3rd and 10. Steps forward, pressure comes, and he's wrapped up. He gets away momentarily, but then 2-3 more Rebels come in and bring him down. Boy, he's strong, but back at the 26 for the sack. 2nd sack already of the game for the Rebel defense. If you're counting fantasy points, that's a good thing so far. Midway through, and it's 4th down and 16. Don't be surprised to see Rafael Silverio come in and attempt a field goal. In fact, that's what it looks like they're doing. He has the distance to kick it from 50, maybe 55 yards. Accuracy is something he's continuing to work on. He's a soccer guy, a football guy from Brazil. He kicks this one deep and just wide left. That was a 40-yard attempt, and he just misses wide left. That had plenty of distance. It would have been good from maybe 50 yards, but just off target. So that gives Rich the football at the 20. 25, 20. First quarter brought to you by the Crawford Trough in Randolph. Open late after every Rebel home game. Excuse me. 1st and 10. Hayden Meek still on the sidelines. Got his helmet off. He's walking around a bit, but some tenderness on that right leg. Trips right, 1 man wide left. Riker Conk in motion. Carrillo turns, fakes the handoff, and runs the option out to the right side. Gets a good crack block from his receiver out on that side and dives forward out near the 30. Not quite there. A few yards short of the 1st down. Carrillo gains about 7.
7 yards. 2nd down and 3.
Riley with 3 carries for 10 yards so far in this young game. No score on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rich, 1 comprehensive family dental first down. Brought to you by Dr. Sean Grohl, quality family dentistry since 1997. Ball on the right hash, 2 receivers, 3 receivers wide right, with Huffaker in the backfield behind Carrillo under center. Conk again in motion. Give to Huffaker, left side. Finds a little bit of room, pushes across the 30 to the 31, and picks up a comprehensive family dental first down. He was driven back, but forward progress ended at the 31. So the Rebels pick up the first down. Huffaker, consistent, 2 carries, 4 yards apiece. And the Rebels pick up a comprehensive family dental first down. Our camera today is brought to you by Bear Lake Realty, the Bear Lake Realty fan cam. Gary McKee in Garden City, the most experienced and highest volume realtor in the Bear Lake Valley. Ball near the right hash as the Rebels attack right to left. Rich in the home blues, white numerals. Layton Christian in the road whites with red. It's a dark maroon type red. Carrillo, quick throw out to the right side, deflected and almost picked off. Colinati, the defensive end, and he's as big of a defensive end as you will see in the state of Utah. He got some good penetration and just deflected that ball to the ground. Rich is lucky he didn't pick it off and run for 6. Would have been one of those, as Chris Berman used to say, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, had he picked it off. But lucky for Rich, he couldn't pull it in. Carrillo 0 for 2 with an interception, almost 2. Second down and 10 after that incomplete pass. I formation behind Carrillo. A tighter lineup for Rich. 2 receivers right, hard count, and just taking it straight up the middle behind Buckwheat. Carrillo picks up a few out to the 30, where are they spotted? The 34-yard line, a 3-yard gain. 3rd and 7. Rebel offense had something going on its first possession. 5 plays in, they'd gone 25 yards, and then the drive ended with an interception by Will Johnston. One of our epic recreation keys of the game for Rich today was to win the turnover battle. So far, down 0-1. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right for a 3rd and 7. 1 in the backfield. Carrillo under center, brings Grohl in motion, takes the snap, and a flag flies. An illegal procedure will make it 3rd down and 12. First penalty of the contest. Again, Layton Christian comes in at 1-3. They beat White Pine, Nevada earlier this year. Lost pretty badly to Parowan. Had a close game at Judge Memorial. And then lost, I think it was 38-6 if I remember right, 2 weeks ago against North Summit. North Summit last week lost to Duchesne 41-14. Rich with a 3rd down and 12, ball on the right hash. After that penalty, takes them back to their own 29-yard line. Carrillo back, looking to throw, flush left. He's got Silva deep down the left sideline, is thrown a bit short, and Silva has to play defense to knock it away from Will Ryder. Derek Ryder, rather. Read well by Ryder, the free safety. He just saw that pass coming. If that goes if Carrillo delivers that further to the outside, Flint Silva has a chance at it. But a good play by Silva to knock that ball out of Ryder's hands and bring up 4th down and 12. Stetson Huffaker to punt it for Rich. Gets a good snap and a good end-over-end high punt, fielded at the 34. Out to his left, Ulrich Sutton finds some room to the 40, to the 50, and he's wrapped up and pulled back. So the Rebels, 2 possessions so far. One ended with an interception. This one ends with a punt. And Layton Christian, for the 2nd time today, will start in Rebel territory. This drive at the Rebel 49 with 1:49 left in the Crawford Trough in Randolph first quarter. Crawford Trough, open after every Rebel home game. It's the place to eat and drink. Delicious smooth ice cream, hot, tasty burgers, and much more. Sutton in motion. Comes into the backfield, so Wheelwright has a man on each side of him. Takes the snap, gives to Johnston, running left, hit initially, breaks a tackle, and picks up a yard to the 48. Johnston, a big, strong runner, but so far, Rebels have kept him to 2 carries for 0 yards. He lost a yard, he gained a yard. Second down, 9 to go for the Layton Christian Eagles. Wheelwright in the shotgun. Johnston on his left hip and just a yard behind him. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Johnston, takes it left side. Wheelwright breaks a tackle. Then he's wrapped up and tripped down from behind at about the 40. Just short of the first down. They'll spot it at the 41. 7 yards on the carry. Wheelwright has 2 carries for 11 yards and brings up a 3rd and 3. 2 receivers wide to the right side, including Malik Johnson, a freshman, who's got some speed. And then again, watch out for Derek Ryder on the left if they try to pass here. Excuse me. Wheelwright in the shotgun. 3rd down and 3 at the Rebel 41. Ball in the left hash. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Lifts the leg, takes the snap. It's on the turf. Wheelwright dives on it. A yard behind the line of scrimmage will be a loss of 1 and bring up 4th down and 4. They spot it at the 42. I smell some hot chocolate. That smells good. Concession stand right below us from the press box here at Rich High School. 4th down and 4, and Layton Christian set to go for it. A timeout on the field, or no, end of the quarter. End of the first quarter, no score on the Station on Main scoreboard. This quarter has been brought to you by the Crawford Trough, open late after every Rebel home game. The place to eat and drink in Randolph.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Corrigan Conk. Thanks for tuning in to Rich High School Football on KADQ FM 98.3 and mylocalradio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper. What could be better than a fresh, mouth-watering burger from the Crawford Trough in Randolph? Top it with cheese and thick-cut bacon, or throw in some mushrooms and make it a double. Now we're talking. Add home-cut fries and a creamy shake, and you might just think you're in paradise. With crisp salads and tasty wraps, plus onion rings, perfectly cooked chicken, cold drinks, and silky smooth ice cream, the Crawford Trough is the place to eat and drink at 120 South Main in Randolph. Down and 4. Layton Christian at the Rebel 42.5-yard line. Lined up to go for it. No score on the Station on Main scoreboard as we begin play in the T7 Propane in Woodruff second quarter. Wheelwright in the shotgun. 3 receivers right. Gives to Johnston. He tries to make more out of it by going around the left side, and the Rebels sniff it out, bring him down after no gain. He didn't have much of a hole up the middle, and he tried to bounce it outside. I think if he lowers his shoulders and drives ahead, he might have been closer. Lost a half a yard. And the Eagles turn it over on downs. Rebel 43-yard line. Rich takes over. Second quarter, 11:50 left to go in the opening half. Neither team has scored so far. Neither team has been in the other's red zone. And comes in late from the sideline for the Eagles defensively as the Rebels line up I formation. Ball on the right hash. Turn and give to Riker Conk, and he's got nowhere to run. Stood up, but he breaks a tackle. Breaks free around the outside across the 50 to the Layton Christian 46. The Eagles just didn't wrap up, and Conk kept the run alive, and now he's down injured. That stops the clock with 11:40 left to go. And Conk in some pain. That was quite a run by Riker Conk. Started at his own 43, ends at the Layton Christian 46. An 11-yard gain. Conk 2 carries for 20 yards, but boy, he's down, and we'll take another injury timeout.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Corrigan Conk. Thanks for tuning in to Rich High School Football on KADQ FM 98.3 and mylocalradio.com.
And just as we get set to take that break, Conk helped up, walks off the field on his own. And so we'll keep it right here instead of going to commercial. Our second quarter is brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. For all your propane needs, call 435-793-4208. That was a 11-yard run, so a comprehensive family dental first down for Conk and the Rebel offense. First down and 10 rather, at the Layton Christian 46, I formation. And the give to Huffaker, nowhere to go. Jaden Rao was the lead blocker. Huffaker's progress stopped, but whistles don't come. And a good job by Stetson to hold on to the football. They'll spot him clear back at the 49-yard line. That's a loss of 5 back in Rebel territory. And I thought Huffaker, maybe he did of his own volition go run backwards, but the line of scrimmage was the 46. I thought he only lost 2 or 3, but they'll take away 5. Second down and 15 for the Rebel offense. I formation. Hard count for the Rebels. Carrillo takes the snap, runs left, running the option. Cuts up field, and he's sandwiched down at the 50. A short gain of 1. Brings up a third down and 14 for the Rebel offense. Just over 10 minutes left. Riker Conk back out on the field. So good to see him feeling better this quickly. That station on main scoreboard back up there for you if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. Flint Silva wide right. 3 receivers out to the left side, and Huffaker behind Carrillo under center. Or third and 14 ball in the left hash. Riley starts to his left, hands off to Kyler Wilson, and he is gobbled up in the backfield. Ulrich Sutton and Coulter Wheelwright, plus a flag flies in the area of holding, which will probably be declined. Back at the 48-yard line of Rich. So this possession goes nowhere. Goes backwards. Unless this is a penalty against Layton Christian, we'll see. I think they're discussing with Layton Christian's coach whether they want to accept the penalty or decline. My assumption here is that it is a hold against Rich, penalty declined. So Kyler Wilson on the end around loses 8. And Rich is forced to punt. Huffaker gets off a nice high knuckleball, bounces once and is fielded at the 15-yard line. Sutton inside, back outside, across the 20, and then he's wrapped up, held up, and brought down about the 28. Another nice punt return by Sutton. He had a 17-yard return earlier. And returns this one about 13 yards. Layton Christian takes over, 1st and 10 from its own 28. Second quarter, 9:13 left in this T7 Propane and Woodruff second quarter. Wheelwright in the shotgun. That's where he's been all day long. I haven't seen him take one from under center yet. 3 on the left side. Man in motion is Sutton. Goes in, then back to where he started. The middleman in that 3-receiver set. Snap and a fake handoff to the left side. Wheelwright takes it around the right side, picks up the first down and more down the sideline to the 42 of Rich. But a flag down, 2 flags back near the line of scrimmage. One back at about the 25-yard line will likely bring this play back. Holding against Layton Christian. Rich will definitely accept that penalty. Now, if they accept the flag down back at the 25, looks like that's not the one that they'll walk it off from. They take it back to the 18-yard line. So 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. First penalty of the day right there against Layton Christian. Wheelwright in the shotgun, 3 receivers left. Looks out to his left side, throws. He's got Ulrich Sutton catch at the 25. Breaks 1 tackle, breaks another, and it'll be a race to the goal, to the 30. Kyler Wilson catches him at the 45 and drags him down about midfield. Ulrich Sutton, broken tackles there, the key, because the Rebels got hands on him immediately. 32-yard pass and catch, most of it done by Ulrich Sutton after the catch. Coulter Wheelwright, 3 of 4 for 47 yards through the air in this first half. Time winding down in the T7 Propane in Woodruff second quarter. 8.5 left. Wheelwright takes the snap. Option play, pulls it. Ball squirts free. Wilson is on it for the Rebels. Wheelwright was fighting for the extra yard, and Corgan Conk in on the tackle just punched the ball out. It punched forward in Layton Christian offensive terms, and then Kyler Wilson fell on it. That turnover is brought to you by Garden City, where families play. Garden City, Utah. So let's mark down Kyler Wilson. That's a candidate for your McKay Frankham Dental Services Precision Play of the Game. Rebels take over from their own 46-yard line with 8:22 left in the second quarter. No score on the station on main scoreboard. Carrillo under center. Conk comes in motion. 2 receivers left, now 3 receivers right. Give up the gut. Nope. Carrillo pulls it, keeps it himself. Lowers the shoulders, gets out to the 50, and he stood up and pushed back and driven out of bounds. They'll spot him right near the 50, a 3 or 4 yard gain for Carrillo. Hayden Meek still here on the sideline, walking gingerly on his right leg. Just 1 carry in the ball game, and he was pulled down a bit funny. A 4 yard gain for Carrillo. 6 carries, 18 yards. Ball right at midfield, the nose of the football on the Rebel side of the 50. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Huffaker in the backfield. Conk in motion, left to right. Carrillo takes the snap. Back, looking to set up the screen. He goes way back and then throws. Huffaker makes the catch, but he's wrapped up and brought down in the backfield. Stetson, a nice job just to get back to the line of scrimmage. That screen just took too long to set up. No gain. Third down and 6 for the Rebel offense. That first drive was their most successful. Rich had something going. They'd picked up 25 yards, a couple of first downs, but then the drive stalled with an interception. Timeout on the field. Rebels take the timeout with 6:49 left. Second quarter, brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Corgan Conk. Thanks for tuning in to Rich High School Football on KADQ FM 98.3 and mylocalradio.com.
When T7 Propane in Woodruff, Utah is your propane supplier, you get reliable, safe, and professional propane service. And that's not all. T7 Propane offers years of expertise, quality product, and the most responsive propane service in the area. For home or other heating needs, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for professional or business propane needs. Call 435-793-4208. That's 435-793-4208. The
size of some of these Layton Christian guys, pretty impressive. Center, number 60, Fayamani Vataki, who's also a defensive tackle on the defensive side, 6'1", 270. And you got a couple of guys bigger than him out there. Third down for the Rebel offense. And 6 yards to go. Ball right at the 50-yard line. Grohl in motion right to left. 3 receivers on the left side. Carrillo takes the snap. Gives to Conk. Coming around from the left side. And he's smacked to the ground by Leonardo Sousa. Conk picks up about 4 to the 46-yard line of Layton Christian. Brings up a 4th down and 2. Conk, 3 carries, 22 yards, has been the most successful ball carrier today so far for Rich. But the Rebels need a couple of yards to move the chain. 6:20 left in the T7 Propane in Woodruff second quarter. Rich looking to go for it here. They better hurry. They're going to run out of time on the play clock. Keep an eye on that back judge and see if he starts counting down the 5 seconds. Rich up to the line of scrimmage. 4th and 2. Going to go for it here in Layton Christian territory. Conk in motion. Snap. Carrillo keeps it himself. Big hole right up the gut. He's got the first down and more. That was very successful last week in 2 or 3 opportunities against Gunnison Valley. They'll spot Carrillo's progress stopped at the 41, a 5-yard gain. And the Rebels pick up a comprehensive family dental first down, brought to you by Dr. Sean Grohl, Quality Family Dentistry since 1997. That looked like a Saby trucking offensive line hole. Good luck, Rebels, from Scott and Diana Saby, but it was just the Rebels catching Layton Christian off guard. They got one little push, and Carrillo picked the right side to follow. 1st and 10 at the Layton Christian 41. Conk in motion right to left. Carrillo takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and then throws to Conk out on the left side. He's got the catch at the 40 to the 35. 30 drugged down with another first down. And I like that play by Carrillo, looking for the pitch, but he adjusted mid-play. Rather than pitching it out there, just slung it out there with the right hand, and it goes all the way down to the 29. A 12-yard pickup for Riker Conk on the reception. Carrillo now 2 of 5 for 12 yards. 1st and 10, another comprehensive family dental first down. Trips out to the right side. They're all spread out. One receiver wide left. Huffaker behind Carrillo. Takes the snap, rolls right, looking for something, tucks it, dodges one tackler, and gets back to the line of scrimmage at the 29. Hit by Derek Ryder. Boy, he's been all over the field. He's a fast player. Coach Katoa told me that he believes Ryder is the type of athlete that can play some college football. No gain for Carrillo on the carry. 2nd down and 10. Fotu Katoa, former Rick's College tight end. In fact, at the time, he'd set Rick's College records for a tight end, 15 touchdowns in a season. Played at BYU for 3 years as well. Carrillo under center. Brings Grohl in motion left to right. Riley steps back looking to throw. He's got Conk way out on the left side, but he overthrows him, incomplete. If you're going to miss long on a pass like that, if you're going to miss, rather, on a pass like that, better to miss long than short. A short one could be intercepted and taken back to the house. You miss long, and it's 3rd down and 10. 4:08 left in the T7 Propane in Woodruff 2nd quarter. Invite you to stay tuned for our halftime show, brought to you by Ellingford Brothers. We'll have the Rich County government first half highlights, and on the town of on the town of Woodruff standout student, we'll hear from Taylor Cornea, a junior at Rich High School. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right for a 3rd and 10. Grohl now moves in motion to the left side, so it's trips on the left. Huffaker behind Carrillo under center. Riley takes the snap, fakes a handoff, rolls left, looks back, throws over the middle. He's got Kyler Wilson in the end zone, middle of the field, touchdown. Wilson had to adjust, but he did it. He was wide open, no flags on the field, and Wilson has his 2nd receiving touchdown of the season. A 29-yard pass and catch. Carrillo got everybody moving left and then threw back to his right. And the Rebels are on the board, 6-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels' first touchdown of the season last week at Gunnison Valley came via Carrillo to Wilson as well. Huffaker to kick. Riley Taylor places it, and the kick wide left misses. But Rich is on the board, leading 6-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. We'll take a quick timeout. Your Bear Lake Physical Therapy kickoff when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
In today's world, with so many places to shop and so many options to choose from, sometimes you have to boil it down to one simple question: where do I get treated the best? At Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan, we work hard to make sure every customer knows how much we appreciate them. We love what we do, and we believe in the products we sell. Our goal is to build a lasting friendship with every customer so we can serve you and your family for generations. Visit us today, Cash Honda Yamaha, 3765 US 91, Hyde Park, Utah.
6 plays, 54 yards, a 29-yard touchdown pass from Riley Carrillo to Kyler Wilson on a 3rd and 10. And that puts the Rebels on the board. Extra point missed wide left, but Rich leads 6-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Layton Christian to receive this Bear Lake Physical Therapy kickoff. Bear Lake Physical Therapy helping Rebels get back in the game since 1998. That was a pro physical therapy touchdown presented by physical therapist Dr. Dallas Clark. And the Rich County 4-H extra point attempt, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime. That's Rich County 4-H. Huffaker kicks it high and deep. Nice boot. Yolerk Sutton fields and fakes the handoff to Derek Ryder. Sutton keeps it himself, running left, and he runs headstrong right into a couple Rebel defenders at the 25-yard line to the 26. Trey Walker got leveled at the end of that play. We're laughing. He's not right now. He might laugh on film session Monday. They might get laughed at. Layton Christian from its own 26-yard line, with Rich leading 6-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Wheelwright in the shotgun, 2 receivers left, 2 wide right for a 1st and 10. Sutton in motion into the backfield. So 2 backs on each side and movement on the front line for Layton Christian. This was an issue for Layton Christian against North Summit, and the Braves really took advantage of it. A lot of hard counts or long counts led to a lot of, on the other side of the football, Layton Christian jumping off sides. On this situation, an illegal procedure or false start, a 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15. Same formation, Sutton in motion to the backfield. 2 in the backfield with Wheelwright. Takes the snap, fakes handoff, pitches outside to Sutton. He's shifty and quick. Makes his way forward to the original line of scrimmage where he's wrapped up and brought down by a gang of Rebels at the 20-yard line. Make that the 26-yard line. I should have said the 25. It was a gain of 5 for Sutton. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Eagles, ball on the right hash at their own 26-yard line. With the Rebels on top, 6-0. Time winding down in the T7 Propane and Woodruff 2nd quarter. Looking left, back to his right. He's got his man caught, and a touchdown-saving tackle by Jaden Grohl in Rebel territory at the 43-yard line. Catch was made by Malik Johnson, a freshman. Layton Christian hurries up to the line. A 31-yard gain on the play to the Rebel 43-yard line. Wheelwright throws out to his right side, looking for Sutton, in and out of his hands. Incomplete. Coulter Wheelwright, 4 of 6 for 80 yards, including that last completion. Rebels defensive on the sideline, shouting out to their teammates, let's go, guys. Let's get a stop. 2:18 left in the T7 Propane and Woodruff 2nd quarter. Trips left, Wheelwright calls for the snap. Looks right, looks back left, and misses everybody. Ryder was expecting the throw to go to his teammate, Edmondson Lenedrick. Ryder was downfield blocking for Lenedrick, but the throw was nowhere near Lenedrick. So the pass incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 10. Same formation we've seen most of the day. 3 receivers left, 1 wide to the right. Johnston in the backfield. Wheelwright back, sets up the screen, throws to Johnston right side. Got the 1st down and more, still on his feet. Breaks another tackle inside the Rebel 30 to the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. William Johnson, boy, once Will gets moving, he is tough to bring down all the way to the 16, a first down, and much, much more. A 27-yard pass and catch, most of it on the catch by Johnson. Wheelwright, 5 of 8 for 107 yards with that completion. Eagles knocking on the door, 1st and 10 at the Rebel 16. Again from the shotgun, Wheelwright with 3 receivers left, fakes the handoff to Johnson, keeps it himself up the middle, bounces around the outside to the sideline, tiptoes down to the 4 before he's knocked out, but I think they said he stepped out at about the 7. Now, if that's where they spot it, he would be just short of a first down. They do spot it at the 7-yard line, a 9-yard gain for Wheelwright. No, they give him the first down at the 6. Make that a 10-yard gain. 1st and goal and a timeout. Rich uses its 3rd timeout of the half. 1:31 left in this first half. Second quarter is brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. During this timeout, we'll keep it right here and thank one of our sponsors. If I can find the fan cam, there it is, the Bear Lake Realty fan cam. Bear Lake Realty, Gary McKee in Garden City. They've got all kinds of options from beachfront rooms with a view, secluded mountain retreats, and even timeshare options and much more. Options where you can buy a home, rent it out so it pays for itself. You can enjoy it some of the time as well, and pretty soon you've got your own home in beautiful Bear Lake. Visit bearlakerealty.com. Call 435-946-8888 or stop in at their office in Garden City and talk with Gary to learn more about how you can make that your dream home a reality in beautiful Bear Lake. That's the Bear Lake Realty fan cam, our camcorder, presented by Bear Lake Realty. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Knocking on the door. 1st and goal, I should say, at the Rebel 6 or 7-yard line. Trips out to the left, 1 man wide right. Look for Derek Ryder here. He's the wide man on the left side. Different man in the backfield is Armel Kayateri. Wheelwright takes the snap, looks left, looks right, throws, and it is caught in the end zone down on the right sideline. Malik Johnson with his 2nd reception of the game. This one for 7 yards and the score. And the Eagles tie it up at 6 apiece on the Station on Main scoreboard. .126 left in the second quarter. Brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. Again, stay tuned for our halftime show. It'll be brought to you by Ellingford Brothers. Out to attempt the extra point, number 10, a senior, Rafael Silverio. Good hold. The kick is up and onto the Rebel. Nope, not quite to the roof, but it's through the uprights and good. And Layton Christian takes a 7-6 lead. A nice drive. Capped off with a 7-yard touchdown pass from Wheelwright to Johnson. Malik Johnson, a freshman, I believe. Yeah, just a freshman. That was a 6-play, 74-yard drive. And with 1:26 left here in the third quarter, or excuse me, in the second quarter, that took off 2 minutes and 33 seconds. And the Rebels set to receive the kick. Rebels trailing 7-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. One thing to keep in mind here, Rich kicked off to start the game. Layton Christian received. Yeah. So Rich will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. You got a short in this thing. Unless this is really the PA system here having some technical issues. Usually that's me having the technical issues. Silverio set to kick off for Layton Christian. 1:26 left, second quarter. Kicks it high and deep. Kyler Wilson fields it at the 8. Running to his right, looking for a block. He gets a couple. Still has a lead blocker to the 30 and steps out at the 35 to avoid a big hit. Nice return for the Rebels, and Rich will start from its own 35-yard line. Wilson with about a 27-yard kick return. The question becomes, does Rich try to make something happen in the next minute and 19 seconds and get another score, maybe take a lead, or do they play it conservative and knowing that they'll receive the kickoff to start the second half? Carrillo looks to throw. Pressure comes. He won't get away. He's spun down back about the 21-yard line. He started right, looked back to his left, and was immediately hit. Big loss on the play. And probably with that loss, the Rebels will play it conservative and let time run down. Clear back to the 24-yard line. An 11-yard loss on that sack. I think that's the first time Carrillo's been sacked. He wasn't sacked against Gunnison Valley. In limited action against Bear Lake, he did not get sacked. And in limited action against Canabie, didn't get sacked. Gives to Stetson Huffaker up the middle on 2nd and long, and he is whipped down. A flag flies in, maybe a face mask penalty here with 34.3 seconds left in the T7 Propane and Woodruff second quarter. Stetson had nowhere to run on the play. And the way that Layton Christian is reacting, it's a personal foul, face mask. Yeah, they were starting to back up. And it is a face mask, 15-yard penalty, and a personal foul variety, I think, is an automatic first down. Third penalty of the game against Layton Christian. Puts the ball on the Rebels' own 39-yard line. 2nd down and 6. I formation behind Carrillo. Turns and gives to Conk. Riker lowers the shoulder, still on his feet, pushes forward, drives his legs out to the 45-yard line, just shy of a first down with 10 seconds left in this first half. Will likely end the second quarter. The clock didn't stop. Oh, it wasn't a first down, so it shouldn't have stopped. To the 45-yard line, a 6-yard gain for Riker Conk. And that takes us to the half. Halftime show coming up, brought to you by Ellingford Brothers. This second quarter has been presented by T7 Propane in Woodruff. For all your propane needs, call 435-793-4208. Stay tuned for our Ellingford Brothers halftime show.
You're tuned in to Rich Rebel Sports on KADQ Evanston.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Flint Silva, and you're watching Rich High School Football on Rebel Radio and mylocalradio.com.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on mylocalradio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports boosters, the Wilson Ranch in Randolph. Good luck, Rebels, from Dale, Kim, Kyler, and Casey. Remember, the harder you work, the more good luck you'll have. And by Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply, a custom shop specializing in leather and wood goods, with a farm feed and supply store to boot. Proudly supporting the Rich Rebels, the Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply store.
Is it time to stop wishing for your dream home in beautiful Bear Lake? If you're ready to make your dream a reality, Bear Lake Realty can help. With residential and land listings, including vacation properties, timeshares, cabins, condos, beachfront, lake view, and more, Bear Lake Realty has what you're looking for. And with more than 30 years of real estate experience in the area, you know you're working with the best. Visit BearLakeRealty.com and come and enjoy the Caribbean of the Rockies with us.
Established in 1870, Randolph, Utah is home to the Rich Rebels, to hardy people of high character, and to values of dedication, honesty, hard work, education, and respect for self and others. Randolph is also home to friendly folks who love their families, their town, and their neighbors. Count yourself a neighbor whenever you visit Randolph, Utah. Mayor Lynn Weston and the Town Council of Randolph wish the Rich Rebels good luck and invite you to visit anytime.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
Welcome to the halftime show presented by Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. Ellingford Brothers, the best in specialized services, including construction, steel fabrication, sand and gravel, and more. Visit ellingfordbros.com. That's Ellingford Bros. The Rebels struck first, but Layton Christian struck last, and Layton Christian leads 7-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with more of our Ellingford Bros halftime show, including the Rich County Government first half highlights, when we return on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
The best cement comes from Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. They've been mixing cement for every type of job for generations. Major construction, road and bridge, cement blocks, foundations, sidewalks, curb and gutter, cement steps, septic tanks, and water troughs. No job is too large or too small. Make sure you get the best quality cement available at the best prices. Always get your cement from Ellingford Brothers. Call today. Ellingford Brothers. We know cement. 307-789-1515.
Success is no accident. It comes from constant hard work, perseverance, sacrifice, and learning from failure. Laketown Mayor Burdette Weston and council members Dallas Clark, Chris Hodges, Gary Ogilvie, and Delora White encourage the Rich High Rebels to continue to do whatever it takes to succeed in academics, activities, and athletics. The town council and citizens of Laketown celebrate the success of all the students and staff in the Rich School District.
The Rebel drill team outperforming their hip-hop number, and Aaron Cook, is he a guest dancer in today's performance? That's funny. That's pretty cool. Aaron there on the left side. The rest of the Rebel drill team they're on the field. Here at the half, it's 7-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Layton Christian with the lead. The Rebels struck first, but Layton Christian struck more recently. I've got Rich with 96 yards of offense, about half through the air, about half on the ground. 41 passing, 55 rushing. And rushing, Riker Conk, 4 carries, 28 yards. Just Rebels haven't been able to find consistency to hold on to the football or keep drives sustained long enough to do more than you'd like to see him run a few more plays, I think is what I'm trying to get at. As for Layton Christian, I have the Eagles with 107 passing yards, just 22 yards on the ground. The Rebels have bottled up William Johnston, the rushing leader for this Layton Christian Academy team, has just 3 carries for -1 yard. Rebels have bottled him up, stuffed him, and they just haven't gone back to it. But Layton Christian has found a lot of success through the air. Coulter Wheelwright, 5 of 8 for 107 yards. And make that 6 of 9. Let me adjust that because I did not mark down his 7-yard touchdown pass to Malik Johnson. So he is actually 6 of 9 for 114 yards with 1 touchdown through the air. And we've got to add up, let's see, 114 plus 22 is 136 yards of offense in that first half for Layton Christian. And most of that by Coulter Wheelwright, the 114 yards through the air, plus he's the leading rusher with 20 rushing yards in the game. These first half highlights and stats are brought to you by Rich County Government, Rebels with a championship cause. Give you a quick recap of the scoring or of the drives, the possessions. Layton Christian started with it, went 3 and out. The Rebels' first possession, things were running along smoothly until a screen pass was tipped, and then intercepted. Will Johnston returned it to the Rebel 42-yard line, but then Layton Christian stalled on a short possession, missed a 40-yard field goal attempt. Rebels picked up 1 first down, punted. Layton Christian turned it over on downs. We went back and forth. And then Rich forced a fumble. Kyler Wilson dropped on it on a running play by Coulter Wheelwright. He fumbled the football, and Rich took advantage, taking the ball at their own 46-yard line. They went 6 plays, 54 yards. Riley Carrillo found Kyler Wilson over the middle for a 29-yard touchdown. Rich missed the extra point and led 6-0. Layton Christian's very next possession, they put together a nice quick drive, running like a 2-minute drill type of offense. They went 6 plays, 74 yards, and Coulter Wheelwright found Malik Johnson for a 7-yard touchdown pass to the right corner of the end zone. They made their extra point and took a 7-6 lead, and that's where we sit here at the half, brought to you by Ellingford Brothers. The best in specialized services, including construction, steel fabrication, sand and gravel, and more. Visit ellingfordbros.com for your next project. Or if you need steel fabrication, custom steel work done, construction, and much more, ellingfordbros.com. The Rebel cheer team performing as well tonight, or this afternoon. It's homecoming week next week, so make sure to stay tuned during our post-game show brought to you by Epic Recreation. We'll have the Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar and take a look ahead at next week's homecoming festivities, or some of them at least. All right, your halftime show again brought to you by Ellingford Brothers. These first half highlights presented by Rich County Government. Rebels with a championship cause. We'll take a quick break as the Eagles lead 7-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. And we'll be back with your Town of Woodruff standout student, Taylor Cornea, right after this on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
When you enter the city limits of the town of Woodruff, the sign welcomes you to a place with the coldest temps and the warmest hearts. Settled in 1870, we celebrate the values of kindness, compassion, and friendliness, knowing a community's greatness may best be measured by the compassionate actions of its members. Mayor Scott Sabie and council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson with Secretary Lisa Bell welcome you and say,
Go Ridge Rebels!
Every excavation project requires the professionals, the equipment, and the strategy to get the job done right. J-Bar Excavation in Randolph, Utah has the team, the tools, and the plan to execute every phase of your project to create exactly what you're looking for. They have the machinery and the experience to provide quality work that fits your schedule and your budget. Call them today, 435-793-5855. J-Bar Excavation, 90 North Main, Randolph. The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
7-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Layton Christian leads at the half. And we move along to the Town of Woodruff standout student presented by Mayor Scott Sabie. Council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson with Secretary Lisa Bell. With Taylor Cornea, a junior at Rich High School, member of the Rich Rodeo Club. Taylor, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's talk first a little academics. We'll get to rodeo in a sec, but how's the junior year going?
It's going good. It's kind of stressful because of all the college classes, but other than that, it's pretty good.
You work on the associate's degree?
Yeah.
Any fun classes? Anything you're enjoying?
Not at the moment, no.
What can we dive a little bit deeper into, like academic type stuff? Are there classes that you've enjoyed that you want to pursue further, maybe in college in the future?
Yeah, I liked my college biology. It's pretty good. It's interesting, and I do really well in biology.
Is that going to be something you go into, biology, medicine, veterinary, something along those lines?
Yeah, I'm thinking either a pharmacist or a chiropractor for horses in that general area.
A chiropractor for horses, is that a pretty common thing?
It's starting to become more common.
Have you been to a chiropractor for yourself, like your neck or back?
Yeah, I've been to a chiropractor before.
And have you seen, like, for a chiropractor work on a horse, is it totally different? I mean, it's a different animal, right? Totally different?
It's different, but it's the same in some ways.
I imagine you got to be pretty strong to crack a horse's neck, or how does that work?
Yeah, you have to be strong, but you also have to be patient, too.
Is there anything, any classes that you've got coming up this year or next year that can kind of get you into that field a little bit more, at least a little more familiar with that kind of stuff?
I think so. I think me and Miss Mir are going to try and figure out some classes to try and help me with that.
Nice. So rodeo, the junior year, taking some classes, are you working toward an associate's? Tough job.
It is. It's a lot on my plate, but it keeps me busy.
You got basketball coming up. Are you looking forward to getting back out on the court?
Yeah, I'm really excited for basketball to start back up.
The team, I think if I remember right, you guys should be pretty good this year. Got a lot coming back.
Yeah, we lost a few seniors, but not too many, so it'll be good to come back with the same team.
Last year, you finished third place. A tough loss in the semis, right, against Paiute. You looking back on that, what do you remember about that?
It was really devastating because our goal was to try and take state, and we were trying to become stronger as a team, to play together as a team, and it was just really hard because we felt like we let ourselves down.
Was it a situation where you just feel like you had a bad day against Paiute, or did you not execute well? Was the game plan not what you expected from them? What happened?
I think they kind of ruffled our feathers a little bit, and they got us out of our groove, and we were kind of getting mad at each other a little bit on the court, and it was just kind of hard to get back and play our game and just play against them, so it was kind of hard with that.
A valuable learning lesson for getting ready for this year with most of the players coming back. What you guys look to take a few steps forward and learn from those mistakes?
Yeah, we got beat out, and now we're coming back with stronger determination, and we're not going to let anybody stop us. We're going to try and go to the top.
I mean, I imagine with rodeo, there's a lot of work in the off season to keep a horse in shape and keep yourself in good physical condition. Same with basketball. How much time did you put in this summer?
I put in a lot of time. It's hard to... I tried to rodeo and I tried to play basketball to try and keep myself in shape for both sports, and it takes a lot of time, but the reward and stuff is really worth it in the end.
A little bit more on school, Taylor. Your junior year, are there any activities or dances you're especially looking forward to?
Yeah, I think homecoming will be fun, and I think prom this spring will be pretty fun too.
Homecoming next week. Do you have a date yet?
No one's asked yet.
No one's asked you, or just no one's asked, period? That comes later.
It comes probably next week.
So talking with Taylor Cornea, junior at Rich High School, and let's talk now some rodeo. Have you been participating in all the rodeos this fall?
Yeah, I didn't go to Panguitch because we weren't able to make it, but I've been to all the rest of the rodeos.
Tell me again what events you do.
I do barrels, pulls, goats, and breakaway.
And how's the fall going for you? Have you qualified for state? Are you competing well?
Yeah, Oakley was our first rodeo, and I qualified in goats, and I won the goats there, and then I qualified again this weekend and just earned more points for state.
In goats as well?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite event of those four you mentioned?
Goats is probably my favorite, and it's also my strongest event.
So earning more points gets you what as you look forward to next spring's state rodeo?
Our points help us in state, and it helps us to go to nationals, and the points help you also to become state champ.
Is that a goal you have this year, state champ, make it to nationals, or do you feel like that's a realistic thing you can try to accomplish this year?
Yeah, it's been a goal my whole rodeo career. I've been close in 7th and 8th grade year. I was alternate. I got kicked out in the short go, and so it's just there. I want to go to nationals.
Good luck getting there this year. Rodeos this weekend, Taylor?
Yes, we go to Cedar City.
Is that a good one? Fun one?
Yeah, I like Cedar. It's really warm in the south, so it's kind of nice to get away from the cold sometimes.
What else do you like about going down to Cedar?
I don't know. The atmosphere of the arena and stuff like that is just really fun, and they have a good arena, and it just goes good.
Taylor, your junior year, you mentioned looking forward to homecoming basketball, I imagine. Are you you're not going to do the musical this year?
No, I don't do good on stage.
The rodeo stage you do fine, just not on the theater stage.
Yeah, rodeo, you got a hat on and get your name announced, and that's it. You don't have to act or sing.
Anything else we should know about Taylor Cornea, instruments you play, hobbies you have outside of school?
I don't think so.
What's your favorite thing about being a Rich Rebel?
We're a really good family, and we're close, and you can lean on someone, and they'll help you through whatever you need.
Taylor Cornea, junior at Rich High School, thanks so much for your time. Good luck in Cedar this weekend with the rodeo.
Yeah, thank you.
As the hospital closest to Bear Lake, professional medical care is always available at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. As a full-service hospital, Bear Lake Memorial offers an emergency room that's open 24/7. They treat patients of all ages. Other professional services include physicians' clinics, assisted living, home health services, counseling, dialysis, physical, occupational, and speech therapy, orthopedic care, and skilled nursing. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
When you want something custom built for your home, farm and ranch, vehicle, or trailer, it needs to be done with precision, be strong, and be affordable. Get all this and more when you work with the Steel Shop at Ellingford Brothers. You bring the plan or idea, and they'll make it a reality. The Steel Shop sells and installs vehicle accessories like bull bars, running boards, and bed liners. They also specialize in truck and trailer hitches as well. Get it built to last. Ellingford Brothers, 221 County Road in Evanston.
Opening kickoff of the second half, long, deep. Wilson fields it in the end zone for a touchback, and the Rebels will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Our halftime show was brought to you by Ellingford Brothers, the best in specialized services including construction, steel fabrication, sand and gravel, and so much more. EllingfordBros.com. Third quarter presented by Town of Randolph. Good luck for mayor, board members, and the town clerk. Ryan STEINECKERT here, and joining us for this third quarter, Landon Hunting. Last year, a senior, you graduated, moving on to Utah State now, Landon? Oh, hang on. I better turn your volume up. That might help. Okay.
Yeah, just down at Utah State. Failed my first exam, so to everyone that watches this, study hard.
Did you just say failed your first exam?
Yes, majorly.
A real life hits him like a smack in the face. Failed his first college exam. We'll talk more about your Rebel days in a bit. Rebels I formation behind Riley Carrillo under center. Grohl in motion, takes the snap. Carrillo does, and gives up the middle. Short gain, and not much room to run for Riker Conk. I noticed he takes the sleeves off during halftime. He was too warm in that first half with the long sleeves.
I'm jealous. It's not that warm out there.
You're jealous that he took the sleeves off because he's feeling warm.
Yeah.
Did you come in here just to get warm?
A little bit, yeah. That breeze is killer.
A 2-yard gain for Conk. Last time you played on this field, quarterfinal loss to Monticello. You probably don't want to talk about that one.
No, it was a fun game. I was one of the couple seniors that could actually play in it due to the injuries that were affecting us last year. So.
Option play, Carrillo stops, looking to throw, and he's sandwiched. Too much pressure from the backside, and he just didn't, no eyes in the back of his head, couldn't see that pressure coming. Carrillo goes down, a big loss, back to the 15, 7 yards back. So Landon, you last year as a senior, you guys lost in the first round of the playoffs, the quarterfinal round at the state playoffs in basketball. A strong run. You beat Wendover in the quarterfinals, lost to Tabiona. Look back a little bit on your high school career, and you may have to answer this after this next play, but favorite memories, I guess, is what I want to get to. So after this next play, Rebels line up with trips to the right on a 3rd and 5. One man wide left, and Carrillo back looking to throw. He gets around the outside. He's got Connor Greer on the sideline. He's got Kyler Wilson at the 40. The catch is made to the 50. He cuts to his left to the 40. The 30. Chased down from behind at the 25-yard line. Perfect throw by Riley Carrillo. Hits Kyler Wilson in stride. A huge gain for the Rebels. 35 plus 36 is 71 yards. Is that correct math?
That's right.
Carrillo, 71 yards to Kyler Wilson. Kyler came in with 4 receptions. He's got 2 today, including a 29-yard touchdown catch. And that puts him at 100 receiving yards on the day. 1st and 10, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental. Riley takes the snap, running to his right. The option, stops, pitches late to Huffaker, and he will be run out of bounds. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. All right, Landon, favorite memories?
Pretty much everything to do with sports. I loved all the memories, like in practices, in the games. The homecoming game, that was a way fun memory from last year. It's hard to look back and decide on what I didn't like, besides, like, obviously schooling's not fun, but everything outside, the homecoming, the dances, everything about it I loved, and I wish I was on the field right now, honestly.
Well, the Rebels could use you. You had a pick 6 against Kanab, helping the Rebels win that game on homecoming last year. Carrillo back to throw. Flushed out left. Looks. He tucks and runs. He's got room. First down and a little more, steps out of bounds. In film session this past Monday, RB Weston said, Riley, if you've got a chance to duck out of bounds, get out. We don't want you getting hit. Perfect decision right there by Carrillo. Picks up the first down and gets out of bounds. Landon, these are some big boys from Layton Christian.
Yeah, they were. I remember them from last year. They were pretty big last year too, and it's definitely fun to play against them. They were a really good team last year, and even though they're bigger, like our boys, even though they're a little smaller, if they believe they can move them, they're going to move them.
I got to make a correction. I said it was a 71-yard gain earlier to the 14. It was a 61-yard gain on that pass to the 24. Carrillo's run gets to the 13. Handoff to Huffaker. Quick hit left side, and he'll pick up a quick 3 yards to the 10-yard line. Stood up, stopped there. Huffaker with 5 carries for 6 yards. And the Rebels face a 2nd down and 7. First down run by Carrillo. A comprehensive family dental first down. And Landon, I don't know if you had a chance to watch last week's game. There were a couple of times where Carrillo was looking to throw and kept his eyes downfield like you want a quarterback to do. But there were a couple of times where he could have tucked and run, and we saw him do that on that 2nd down play moments ago. That's got to be a tough decision for a quarterback. Carrillo under center, trips to the left side. Grohl in motion, handoff to Huffaker. Stetson picks up a few to the 6. 4-yard gain.
Yeah, like you were saying, it is definitely a hard decision for a quarterback to decide if he wants to throw or run in those circumstances. But and he's young, and he'll figure out when he has to make those decisions and what decision to make. But that run on 2nd down was definitely the right decision.
Did you get a chance to play with Riley last year, as far as like him quarterback, you receiver last year?
A little bit, and he's young, and he's definitely got a drive to him that he will take for the rest of his high school career, and he's going to be good. He's good right now, and the minutes he's getting in varsity matches are going to help him in the future to be even better.
5-yard gain for Huffaker on that last play. Conk in motion into the backfield. Carrillo keeps it himself on a 3rd and short, pushes up the middle, not much room. He's driven back, picked up a yard, maybe 2. Will likely be shy of the yard to gain. You saw Layton Christian sub in a big guy and brought in an even bigger guy. I spot Carrillo down at the 5, so no gain on the play. 4th down and 3. Rebels trail 7-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. A 61-yard pass from Riley Carrillo to Kyler Wilson kept this drive going. Got it from the Rebels' own 15 all the way down to the 24 of Layton Christian. 4th and 3. Rebels at the Eagles' 5-yard line, going for it. 3 receivers to the left, 1 wide right. Riley takes the snap, pitches to Stetson left side, makes one man miss, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and is stood up and dropped. So Rich will come up short on a 4th down and goal attempt. A promising drive ends inside the opponent 10-yard line. Layton Christian takes over. 3rd quarter is presented by the town of Randolph. Good luck from the mayor, board members, and town clerk. 6:49. That was a long Rebel possession. Almost 5.5 minutes. Layton Christian takes over from its own, where are they at? The 7? Own 6-yard line. Trips out to the left side. The Eagles open things up offensively with some passing and quarterback keepers. Wheelwright keeps it himself right up the middle and dances forward across the 10, close to the 15-yard line. Just a yard or 2 short of the first down at the 14. Wheelwright. Sorry, go ahead, Landon.
I've been impressed with the Rebel defense on not letting him get to the outside too much, kind of keeping him in his pocket. They've done a real good job. I remember last year they killed us running up the middle, and the Rebels have done a good job at maintaining that.
Wheelwright on a 2nd down and 2 in the shotgun, gives to Johnston, and nicely defended by Carrillo. He contained Johnston and then cuts in and drags Johnston down at the 16-yard line. Very close to a first down. It is a first down. Johnston has 4 carries. That one his longest of the day. He went for -1, then 1, then -1, and now 2 yards. I want to think about this for a second, Landon. What adjustments can the Rebels make against this spread type option where Wheelwright is in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks to throw. Ooh, he's got his man, Ulrich Sutton, over the middle. A diving catch at about the 40 of Layton Christian. Rebels have to respect the pass, but Wheelwright, they have to respect him handing off. They have to respect him running it himself.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to make adjustments when you have a good quarterback that can do a little bit of everything. Honestly, what I do, I have not a deep safety, but a little deeper than what Flint's at right now, and kind of have him be the zone over the middle so that you can't get those open passes.
Sutton back to throw, throws late, and the hit on Ulrich Sutton came just early. Connor Greer tried to time it, but the official says that Greer got there early to knock the ball loose on the pass intended for Ulrich Sutton. Rebels got pressure on Coulter Wheelwright. This passing game opening things up, making it real tough on the Rebel defense. 15 yards on the pass interference. That's 20 yards in penalties against Rich. And pushes Layton Christian across midfield into Rebel territory at the 47-yard line. No, the 48. Rebels put a man on each wide receiver out to the left side of the Layton Christian offense. Wheelwright calls for the snap and gives to Johnston up the middle. Breaks a tackle inside the 45 to the 40. Finally brought down. Looks like they'll spot it right at the 40. A gain of 8. That's 9 rushing yards for William Johnston. 10 of those have come in the second half. 2nd down and 2. Layton Christian's offense has found its stride, leading 7-6 here in the town of Randolph, 3rd quarter on the Station on Main scoreboard. Wheelwright in the shotgun. Johnston on his right hip and a yard behind him. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Wheelwright takes the snap, gives. No, that's not. That's Kayateri, and he is swallowed up in the backfield. Bridger, Weston, Riley, Taylor. Who else was there, Landon?
The entire line was there. That was awesome. They broke through. That was just good defense right there.
Armel Kayateri, the ball carrier, loses 3, so his total's up to 0. 2 carries, no yards. 3rd down and 5. Big 3rd down here with time running down in the town of Randolph, 3rd quarter. Wheelwright from the shotgun, takes the snap, immediately looks left. Sutton is his intended target, makes the catch right at the first down marker. Riker Conca quick tackle, but Sutton picks up the first down and a few extra inches to boot. They'll spot it at the 37-yard line. Did the referee just say a penalty? No. Gotcha. So to the 37, they needed 5, they got 6. Sutton has become the main target of Coulter Wheelwright. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, against North Summit, the primary target seemed to be Derek Ryder. He's got 1 reception for 19 yards in this game. He's the man wide on the left side, Sutton the slot man on the left. Wheelwright brings a man in motion, calls for the snap, and gets it from the shotgun. Quarterback keeper all the way, breaks left, finds some room, lowers the shoulder inside the 30, near the 25 of Rich. Spotted at the 26. That'll be another close to a first down. They move the chains. That is a first down on 11 yards.
I'd like to see the Rebel corners step up and start bumping the receivers, getting them a little off their tracks and slowing them down.
Wheelwright so far, or on his last 4 passing attempts, he's 4 for 4 with a touchdown and about 55 yards. He's in the shotgun. Brings Edmondson Lenedrick in motion. to his right hip. Kayateri on his left hip. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Snap and give to Kayateri. And again, Bridger Weston swallows him up back at the 30. A loss of 4. Bridger with excellent penetration from his defensive line position. You ever play any defensive line, Landon?
I did a little bit. I played a little bit of everything last year, I feel like. And the D-line, I ran a little bit in practice, and it's a tough job. People don't understand. It's a lot more difficult than it seems.
2nd down, 14, Will Wright. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Takes the snap, looks left, looking left, still looking left. Pulls it, throws it, and caught on the sideline. Great catch by Ulrich Sutton, keeping his toes in at the 16 for very close to 1st down yardage. They needed 14. They got 14. Let's see. Looks like they'll spot it at the 17, just short. So a 13-yard completion. Will Wright, 3rd down and 1. Look for him to keep it here or give it to big Will Johnston, who's on his left hip. Snap, Will Wright does indeed give it to Johnston. He breaks left side, got some room to the 10, to the 5, tripped up, dives forward to the 2. Connor Greer a touchdown saving tackle, but Johnston gives Layton Christian a 1st and goal inside the Rebel 5. Something shifted on that last possession for Layton Christian in the 2nd quarter and is continued or carried through to this 3rd quarter for the Eagles. That was a 14-yard gain for Johnston. Wheelwright takes the snap, starts right, breaks a tackle, goes back to his right, pushes and gets in. Touchdown, Eagles. Rebels just didn't bring him down. He kept his center of gravity balanced and drove into the end zone. The Rebels had stopped him in the backfield, but just couldn't bring him down. So a 3-yard touchdown run for Wheelwright puts his total at 42 rushing yards on 7 carries. That was a nice, long 11-play drive. Layton Christian from its own 6-yard line, a 94-yard drive. Extra point is blocked, so the Rebels remain within 7, 13-6 with 1:39 left on the Station on Main scoreboard. We're in the town of Randolph, 3rd quarter, and we'll be right back on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Established in 1870, Randolph, Utah is home to the rich rebels, to hardy people of high character, and to values of dedication, honesty, hard work, education, and respect for self and others. Randolph is also home to friendly folks who love their families, their town, and their neighbors. Count yourself a neighbor whenever you visit Randolph, Utah. Mayor Lynn Weston and the Town Council of Randolph wish the rich rebels good luck and invite you to visit anytime.
Drive and 11 plays by the Layton Christian Eagles. 5 minutes, 10 seconds off the clock. They fail on the extra point conversion, but the Rebels trail 13-6 after that touchdown by Layton Christian. 1:39 left in the town of Randolph, 3rd quarter. Landon, you're seeing something that the Rebels can find some success offensively with.
Yeah, I think that they're finding a lot of success going on the outside if they can get around that end. And, yeah, that end's a little bigger. So if they pinch down, kind of crack block down on him, I think they'd be set.
Silverio, a low line drive kick, a flag flies. Either the Rebels were lined up too close within 10 yards or Layton Christian, a couple players got an early jump out in front of the kicker. Some quick discussion between the official illegal procedure on Layton Christian. 5-yard penalty, and they'll line up to kick it again from the 35. So Rich will move up the 5 yards as well. 13-7. Layton Christian leads on the Station on Main scoreboard. Clock remains at 1:39 left to go in the town of Randolph 3rd quarter. The to the 35. Now they'll make them move it back up to the 40 or what? Oh, to the 45, the penalty was on Rich. They indicate the white cap, the referee said it indicated the penalty was against Layton Christian. He must have corrected himself that I didn't see. So from the 45, a line drive to the end zone, touchback. Rich takes over from its own 20. Rebel scoring drive came after Kyler Wilson recovered a fumble, and Rich started from its own 46-yard line, went to 6 plays, 54 yards. Rebels will start from their own 20 on this possession. Rebel volleyball last night lost a barn burner, nail biter, 15-12 in the final set. In a regulation volleyball match, the most you can lose by total is 6 points. The Rebels lost by 7 points total last night. They lost sets 2 and 3 by 2 points apiece, and then 3 points in set 5 against Intermountain Christian, which puts itself in sole possession of first place in Region 22 play. The Rebels will host Intermountain Christian next Friday here at Rich High School. I formation behind Carrillo. Takes the snap, turns, and gives up the middle. Huffaker stutter steps through the line and pushes out to about the 23. 2nd down and 7. Rebel volleyball team will be back in action tomorrow, hosting the Westside Pirates. And it's an early one. Opening serve for the varsity is at 10:15. Our pregame coverage right here on KADQ will begin tomorrow morning at 9:45 as Rich hosts Westside. I formation behind Carrillo. 2 receivers right, 1 wide left. Riker Conk, the tailback. Snap and give up the middle. Quick fullback give. And across the 25 to about the 26, Stetson Huffaker gains a couple, bringing up a 3rd down and short. I remember my first tackle football coach when I got into middle school said his philosophy was, if we can gain 2.5 yards on first down, 2.5 on second, 2.5 on third, 2.5 on fourth, we'll move the chains every 4 plays. And that's about what the Rebels are doing on these last 2 plays. They need about 4, so a little more than the 2.5 here. 13-6, Layton Christian leads on the Station on Main scoreboard. Carrillo under center. Turns, runs the option, hard pitch for Conk, and he is stood up and driven down. Perfect form tackle by Derek Ryder. Conk down back at the 23, a loss of 3 on the option. And that'll take us to the end of quarter number 3, brought to you by the town of Randolph. Good luck from the mayor, board members, and town clerk. 4th quarter when we return on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists. The Greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
Rebels facing a 4th down and 6, maybe 7 yards to go. A loss of 2 on that last play. Conk was stood up. That was an impressive form tackle by Derek Ryder. Rich trailing 13-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Nice punt. Ulrich Sutton Fields at the 36. Running to his right, 46. Bounces outside, 50. Spun around and dropped down. Good play out there by Colton Johnson to slow down Sutton and allow some other teammates to come in and bring him down. Layton Christian takes over. after another big return by Sutton. What did we say? From his own 31-yard line out to the Rebel 46. That's a 23-yard return. I've got Sutton with 53 return yards plus 3 receptions for 72 yards. Make it 4 receptions for 72 yards. Third quarter, make it fourth quarter. 11:47 left to go. This fourth quarter is brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. In the shotgun, Wheelwright looks left, pressure comes, throws to Will Johnson. Makes the catch on a screen to the 40, to the 35-30. Following a wall of blockers, and finally the Rebels penetrate the wall and bring Johnson down at about the 20. So a big play again for Layton Christian. They have found their stride offensively. This one spotted at the 22. So that's a 32-yard gain on the screen pass. Executed well. Been impressed by Coulter Wheelwright, 10 of 13 for 186 yards. That's excellent completion percentage and efficiency. Takes the snap, gives to KADQ. Patiently works his way forward inside the 20, follows a blocker or two to about the 17, maybe the 18-yard line. 4 or 5 yards on the carry, brings up a second and medium. 13-6. Layton Christian leads. They will make it a 4-yard gain to the 18-yard line. KADQ at 8 yards on 4 carries. 2nd and 6. Layton Christian looking to go up by a couple of scores. The Eagles lead by 1 score already. 13-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Time running down in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Wheelwright in the shotgun, looking left all the way. Throws, catch is made, ball squirts free. A flag flies down. I think it'll be a face mask as Sutton able to squirt free and fall on the loose ball. Kyler Wilson, the defender out there, had a hard time bringing Sutton down. Got the ball to pop loose, but I think the penalty, 2 flags on the field. I think this will be a face mask against Rich. Yeah, they're walking it off as the referee comes and indicates a personal foul face mask. Half the distance to the goal is 9 yards. To the Rebel 9-yard line. 1st and goal, Layton Christian. KADQ on Wheelwright's right side, 2 receivers right. Sutton comes out to his left hip, and 1 receiver wide left. The snap, fake to KADQ, pitch to Sutton, makes one man miss, but then Kyler Wilson in the backfield brings Sutton down back about the 12. That would be a loss of 3. Sutton has 2 carries for 2 yards. 2nd down and goal at the 11. Wheelwright again in the shotgun, 2 receivers right, 2 out wide left. Takes the snap, looking left, over the middle, throws for Ryder, and he makes the catch at the goal line on an extended slant pattern. Makes the catch, they'll mark him down at the 1. An 11-yard pass and catch. Ryder with his 2nd catch of the game. Takes us to 3rd and goal at about the 1-yard line. Wheelwright steps off the field, and Sutton becomes the quarterback in a Wildcat-style formation. Johnston on his left hip with 2 receivers wide right, 2 wide left. Sutton calls for the snap and look for him to go right up the middle, follow those big boys, but the Rebels split the gaps between and bring it down Sutton in the backfield. James McKinnon got some great penetration. Hayden Weston as well. And Sutton loses a yard.
See if the
and they'll
Rebels
go
can get a
again.
Stop and get some momentum back on their side, maybe get a drive out of them.
Boy, this is a big play. For that reason that you just said, Landon, plus if Layton Christian scores here, they're up by 2 scores. Sutton again from the shotgun, and whistles blow it dead. Flag from the near sideline judge, the Rebels sideline. will be is this a false start, an illegal procedure against Layton Christian. 5 yards, that's 35 yards on 4 penalties against the Eagles. Drops them back to the 7-yard line for a 4th and goal. Their kicker, Rafael Silverio, definitely has the power to kick it in from here, but Layton Christian wants to go for the jugular and punch in another touchdown. Wheelwright back in, throws over the middle. Sutton makes the catch and backs into the end zone. Defense was right there. Flint Silva on the coverage, but swiped through. He did it perfectly fundamentally. Swiped through with the right hand in front, but just missed the football. Sutton makes the catch, touchdown. So Wheelwright with his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. He is 12 of 15, just 3 incomplete passes in the ball game. And the Eagles set to go for 2. Wheelwright looks to throw, flushed out of the pocket, runs left, throws into traffic, knocked away, incomplete. So the score settles at 19-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the Bear Lake Realty 4th quarter. We'll take a quick timeout and be right back on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
If the idea of owning your own home in beautiful Bear Lake sounds like more than your finances can handle, visit the experts at Bear Lake Realty to learn how you can make it happen. Gary and Amber McKee at Bear Lake Realty can show you how to buy a home and rent it out, so it pays for itself while you enjoy it some of the time as well. And soon, you'll have your own place in the Caribbean of the Rockies. No one knows the market better, and no one else serves you better than Bear Lake Realty.
Rich set to receive this kickoff. Layton Christian, 6 plays, 46 yards, 7-yard touchdown pass from Coulter Wheelwright to Ulrich Sutton. Caps off that drive. Took about 3 minutes, 57 seconds, I think. I was going to say about 4 minutes, and I was able to do the math. This is a critical drive, Landon.
Yeah.
Silverio kicks it high and deep, fielded by Huffaker. He'll break a tackle to the 20, to the 30, still on his feet, 35, spun around and steps out at the 37. A flag flies as a late hit comes in. And Rafael Silverio, the kicker, came in and applied some late contact. So Huffaker with a big return, plus it looks like we'll tack on another 15 yards with a late hit. That's something, a good starting spot is what the one thing the Rebels need on this drive.
And that play should have gave them a little momentum, and hopefully they can get a drive out of this.
So Huffaker returned it to the 40. It was about a 35-yard return. Tack on 15 yards from there, and Rich takes over, 1st and 10 at the Layton Christian 45-yard line. The Rebels had not started a drive in Layton Christian territory until this very possession. Right here in front of us near midfield. I formation behind Carrillo. 2 receivers left. Riley takes the snap, gives to Conk. Riker up the gut, drives forward, lowers the shoulders, gets to about the 41-yard line. Should be good enough for a gain of 4. An initial nice hold there, brought to you by Saby Trucking. Good luck, Rebels, from Scott and Diana Saby. It is a gain of 4 to the 41. Conk, 32 yards on 7 carries today. Time running down. This is about the same spot the Rebels were in last week at Gunnison Valley, down 2 scores with midway through the 4th quarter. Carrillo sends a man in motion, gives to Conk. It's on the turf, and Riker falls back on it, but loses a half a yard. More like a full yard loss. Back to the 42, 3rd down
and 7. Rebels need the Layton Christian 35 to move the chains. Carrillo threw an interception on his first pass. His second pass nearly intercepted as well, but he's 3 of his last 4 for 101 yards, including a 29-yard touchdown to Kyler Wilson. Wilson wide on the left side, 1 in the backfield. Grohl comes in motion, making it trips left. Riley rolls to his left, pressure coming, stops. He's, clotheslined and brought down. Coulter Wheelwright, the opposing quarterback and linebacker, made the hit, bringing up 4th down and 11. Carrillo brought down back at the 46. With time running down like this here, Landon, do you go for it?
I think you're going to have to. You're down 2 scores. Layton Christian, they know how to hold on to the ball and make a drive last a long time if you don't stop them. So I say your best chance is to go for it and let miracles happen.
5.5 left in the Bear Lake Realty 4th quarter. Rebels need a comprehensive family dental first down on a 4th and 11. Carrillo under center. He's been sacked 3 times, needs some protection here. Steps back, looking to throw, runs to his left. He's got Jaden Grohl wide open down the middle of the field. Throws deep for Flint Silva, who misses the catch. It was in and out of his hands. And he'll remember that one for a long time for the wrong reason. Silva was open. Carrillo bought time with his legs, and Flint just couldn't hang on. I think he started to think about pay dirt before he had the ball in his fingers. So the Rebels turn it over on downs. Layton Christian takes over with 5:11 left to go. Oof. Boy, that could have been huge. Flint Silva was wide open. Jaden Grohl was right there wide open as well. But Layton Christian takes over at the Rebel 46-yard line, or at its own 46, 1st and 10.
This is when the Rebel defense is going to have to step up and cause some turnovers or get the ball back as fast as possible.
Rebels need a Garden City turnover. They need a couple of pro physical therapy first downs. Wheelwright going deep. He's got Derek Ryder, who fights off some defensive pressure from Connor Grohl but cannot make the catch. It looked like he had it, but falls incomplete. And that's Coulter Wheelwright's first incompletion of this second half. By the way, happy birthday to Colton. Was it Colton Hislop? I wrote Johnson on there. I don't know why. Colton Hislop, happy birthday, and Allie Jarman, happy birthday. 2nd down and 10. The good thing about that incompletion, it stops the clock. So Layton Christian doing the Rebels a little bit of a favor passing here if Rich can force some incompletions or maybe an interception. Wheelwright, 10 of 16, 204 yards and a touchdown. He throws. Malik Johnson makes the catch at the 50, across Rebel, into Rebel territory at the 45, wrapped up and spun down, a gain of 9. I said Malik Johnson. That was actually Edmondson Linedrick on the reception. His 2nd reception of the game. Critical 3rd down and 1 on the Rebels' 46-yard line. Coulter Wheelwright takes the snap, throws left for Linedrick, and misses the throw too far out in front of his junior, Linedrick, a junior, intended receiver. And Coach Fotu Katoa, some interesting play calling here with his team up by 2 touchdowns, 19-6, 4:26 left in the Bear Lake Realty 4th quarter, throwing the football. Feeling some confidence about his team's ability to maintain possession, move the chains, and win this football game. Wheelwright takes the snap, gives to Johnston up the middle, big hole, and he drives forward to the 43. That's enough to move the chains. We may have a helmet-to-helmet hit against Rich. The flag flew in right on the line, but the line judge threw it right where the hit was made. Could be a hold against Layton Christian. We'll have to see what they call this. Did you see something, Landon?
I thought I saw a hold on the line, but I didn't see the helmet-to-helmet, so.
That's a hard thing because Johnston is lowering his head to try to drive forward as the Rebels are lowering their heads to come in and make the hit.
Officials have a conference, discuss things. Clock stopped at 4:21 left in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter, and they will mark this off against Rich. A personal foul, helmet-to-helmet hit. So Johnston had picked up the first down with a gain of about 3, plus the penalty, 15 yards, all the way to the Rebel 20. Coach Grohl out talking with one of the referees, and the line judge on the Rebel sideline throws the flag. Rich coaches not happy with the way things are turning out here. They walked it down to the 29-yard line. Nope, the 28-yard line on the penalty. This second penalty flag that flew is a sideline warning. And again, the first flag on a sideline warning is just a warning, no yards marked off. 1st and 10, though, for Layton Christian. And the clock starts to run again. 19-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard in the Bear Lake Realty fourth. Layton Christian leads. Wheelwright back to throw. Deep over the middle. Ulrich Sutton in and out of his hands in the end zone. Incomplete. Stops the clock. Sutton was open. It was a high throw, but you see Wheelwright's ability, boy, to lead his receivers and throw it where if his guy's not going to get it, the defense won't get it either. Watch out for Derek Ryder deep on the left side. 4:09 left to go, and the referee asks for a timeout for his own purposes to clear things up. Is it second down? Is it third down? It is second down. Layton Christian from the Rebel 28-yard line, leading 19-6 and trying to put another one on the board. Coulter Wheelwright back to throw. Pressure comes. He throws over the middle, and a monster hit. Stetson Huffaker lays out the receiver who held on for the catch. Matt Bailiff, a freshman, makes the catch at the Rebel 19-yard line, a 9-yard gain. Brings up 3rd down and 1. Rebels have got to get a stop here with down to 3.5 minutes left in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter on the Station on Main scoreboard. And even if they do get a stop here, they still need a bit of a miracle in addition to the stop. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Bailiff on the right hip of Wheelwright. Coulter, quick throw, left side. Sutton makes the catch, makes a couple men miss, dances his way forward inside the 10, inside the 5. Finally brought down about the 4. 15 yards on the quick slot receiver screen play. And Coulter Wheelwright, give him the game ball today. 15 of 20 for 237 yards. 1 touchdown through the air, another 42 yards and a touchdown on the ground. No interceptions. He did fumble once.
That's probably why they keep it through the air is when you got 15 through 20, why change what's working?
Bailiff steps to Wheelwright's left side. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Hand to Bailiff. No, Wheelwright keeps it himself around the left side. Looking to run. Breaks a tackle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Layton Christian. 2:46 left on the clock. Wheelwright adds to his total. Another 4-yard and a second rushing touchdown of the game. Coulter Wheelwright last year was a linebacker and a wide receiver. Had 9 catches for 100 and something yards on the season as Jace Holt, a sophomore, was the quarterback. Wheelwright has stepped into the quarterback role nicely this season. And that one's a dagger. That's a nail. A few nails in the coffin. Silverio kicks the extra point up and through in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. 25-6, Layton Christian leads on the Station on Main scoreboard.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Flint Silva, and you're watching Rich High School football on Rebel Radio and MyLocalRadio.com.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires that offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Seven plays, 54 yards. Coulter Wheelwright caps off the drive with a 4-yard touchdown run on a quarterback keeper. Extra point good. Layton Christian leads 26-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. For the second straight week, the Rebels scored first, but will lose the game. Last week, Gunnison Valley came from behind to beat the Rebels. This week, it's Layton Christian scoring 26 unanswered. Rafael Silverio. Long, high, end-over-end kick into the end zone. That takes no time off the clock, so Rich will take over 1st and 10 from its own 20. 2:46 left to go. Landon, at this point, from a player standpoint, you know you're not going to win the game, or is there still a shimmer of hope for that?
This is the point where I think everyone knows that you're not going to win, and as much as it sucks to be a player in this position, and you know that it's all but over, you just want to prove that you can still play against them and drive it down and score. I think that's what Rich is hoping for, is to prove that even though they might not have won this game, that they're still a team that can push the ball and move the ball on offense. And they did well on defense in the first half. This second half, they've struggled a little bit more in containing. But
Carrillo from the shotgun takes the snap, looks left, pressure comes, looks right, and he is hammered. Brought down by big number 52, Colin Noddy. One of the few seniors on this team who played for Layton Christian last year and came back to play again this year. Back to the 15. That's the 4th time Carrillo's been sacked today. 32 yards in losses on those sacks. Did I say back to the 15? Back to the, is it at the 15?
It's at the 10.
At the 10, that's what I thought. You know, and going to what you said, Landon, putting together a drive here, Coach Grohl recognizes his teams need to build confidence, and a last-minute drive here, a touchdown on the board would certainly go a long ways in that. Give up the gut and a bit of a gain, picking his way forward for a short, about 5-6 yards. Was that Stetson Huffaker?
Yeah, that was Stetson.
They'll spot him out at the 14-yard line, so 4 yards on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 16. Make sure to stay tuned for our Epic Recreation postgame show. We'll have the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap, Stacy's Repair postgame diagnostics. We'll talk with Coach Justin Grohl, and we'll also have the Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar. Snap, Carrillo immediately runs to his left, stops, looks to throw. He's got Connor Greer at the 30 on the sideline, and he's pushed out at the 40. Nice catch by Greer, and running down the sideline, a big gain. Carrillo sold the run well, and then against his body, threw it back against his body to find Grohl, who takes it all the way out to the, or Greer, thank you, all the way out to the 41-yard line. Carrillo, 5 of 10.
And as you're saying, I think the one thing that this team is lacking a little bit is confidence. They got a lot of young players on the line this year. I think there's like 3 sophomores. So I think if they can find some confidence, their game will definitely change.
Connor Greer, his first reception of the game. End around to Kyler Wilson. Breaks a tackle at the 40, trying to get out of bounds. 50, and he's hit late out of bounds. Just a dirty hit in the back with the shoulder pads. Tavita Pomee, the freshman, playing his first game, I believe, of the season for Layton Christian. And I don't know if he thought he'd get away with it. Maybe he didn't realize how far out of bounds he was, but easy flag there, a personal foul late hit. Just hit Wilson in the back. 65 yards in penalties against the Eagles. That was a nice gain by Kyler Wilson. Made some guys miss. 9, 10, 11 yards on the run.
And this is the drive that Rich needed.
The 33-yard line. Carrillo rolling right. He's got Greer downfield, right sideline. Perfect throw. Greer catches it in stride. The grill, that's the mix between Grohl and Greer. Put another shrimp on the Barbie, baby. Connor Greer makes the catch down about the 13. A 35-yard, no, the penalty was at the 33. So that's a 20-yard play. Connor Greer with the catch.
And this is what I've noticed in every game. It's always closer to the end, but when you see the Rich team actually have some confidence in themselves and get their blocks, they're hard to stop.
Ball on the right hash for a 1st and 10. Carrillo running to his left, gets a block to the 15. Late pitch to Huffaker. He's driven out at the 15. A loss on the play. Stops the clock at 49.9 seconds to go. Layton Christian defensively did just what you need to do to stop the option. String it out. Don't give any running lanes and just string it out to the sideline. Landon, figure this out for me. Why do I keep calling Connor Greer Connor Grohl or Connor Grill?
No, I honestly don't know.
Help me out, man. A loss of 2 to the 15. 2nd and 12. Carrillo in the shotgun. Takes the snap, rolls right, pressure coming, looks back over the middle. Caught!
Touchdown.
Kyler Wilson, touchdown with 43.3 seconds to go. Carrillo's throw just long enough over the outstretched hands of Matt Bailiff, the linebacker who was back in coverage. And Carrillo finds Wilson for the 2nd time today to make it 26-13. Riley Carrillo finishing off what will be a pretty nice day. 7 of 12. Carrillo 7 of 12 for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Rich going for 2, trailing 26-12. Carrillo rolls left, throws for Conk. He was open. Conk was moving right. The throw went back to his left, incomplete. 2-point conversion fails, but Rich puts another one on the board. 26-12 with 43.3 seconds left to go in the Bear Lake Realty 4th quarter on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Super kids deserve super care. Experience the difference with board-certified pediatricians Alan Brown, MD, and Bird Gilmartin, MD, at Uinta Medical Group. Whether it's tracking your child's overall health at Well Child Checks or helping your little ones feel better when they're sick, Dr. Brown and Dr. Gilmartin are here to help your child grow, learn, and thrive. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Brown or Dr. Gilmartin by calling 307-789-WELL 9355 or visit evanstonanytime.com.
Eight plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes, 3 seconds. Riley Carrillo to Kyler Wilson to cap off the drive. Wilson with his 2nd touchdown reception of the game, 3rd touchdown reception of the season. Carrillo with his 3rd touchdown pass of this season. Rebels trailing 26-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard with 43.3 seconds left to go. Man, Landon, you were talking about it during halftime. I don't know if it's gotten colder or if it's just me. It feels colder. Rebels attempting an onside kick.
And
it's
they got
loose, and it's on the turf. Rich might have it at the 48-yard line of Layton Christian. Rebels do have it. They have success on the onside kick and take over with 42.5 seconds left to go. At the Layton Christian 48-yard line, Travis Gifford recovers the onside kick. Rob Leifson running our Bear Lake Realty camera today. Thanks so much for picking that up. So Rich with the football near midfield. They need a quick strike, another onside kick, and then one more. They're down by 14.
14.
Need 2 touchdowns. Carrillo with trips on his left side. Coulter Wheelwright showing heavy pressure up the middle. Wraps up Carrillo and brings him down. Wheelwright timed it perfectly to the snap, and Rebels do not take a timeout. That'll push him clear back to the 44-yard line.
He hasn't. No, he doesn't. He has all 3 of his timeouts.
It's a loss of 8. 5th sack, and a flag flies in as Layton Christian's Coulter Wheelwright tries to time it perfectly again, and this time is offsides. Stops the clock with 14.3 seconds to go. Encroachment. Puts it at the 49-yard line.
Clock quick long passes. Let's see if they can score.
Hook and lateral.
Hook and
saw that
ladder.
a few times last year.
Yeah, we saw the hook and ladder a lot last year, and it worked often. Especially, we didn't use it every game, but when we did, it usually got us quite a bit of yards. So
2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Conk behind Carrillo under center. Riley takes the snap, looks back, throws. He's got Connor Greer, and he's hit before he can make the lateral. Huffaker was coming around, but a big hit by Derek Ryder.
I think that was the hook and ladder right there.
Yeah, they were trying it, but Ryder broke it up with the hit. The pass complete to the 45-yard line of Layton Christian, but time runs out. 26-12, the final on the Station on Main scoreboard. This fourth quarter has been brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. Bear Lake Realty, Gary and Amber McKee. Gary McKee in Garden City. Did they call it incomplete? Oh, they did. They called it an incomplete pass. So we still have time on the clock. Not done yet. 6 seconds left to go. Layton Christian will have to come back out on the field defensively. That was Carrillo's just second incompletion of the second half. He's completed passes of 61, 27, 20, and 15-yard touchdown. He's had a very good second half through the air.
Maybe we'll see the hook and ladder again right here.
Oh, you might just see it. Flint Silva wide on the left. 2 receivers, 3 receivers wide right side. See if they keep Huffaker into block. Carrillo back, rolls to his right. Steps forward, hit as he threw. The ball up in the air, picked off. Running to his left, to the 45, to the 50. He wants to take it to the house. Wrapped up and thrown down at the Rebel 35-yard line. A garbage interception at the end of regulation. Layton Christian wins 26-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard. The Eagles improved to 2-3. The Rebels dipped to 0-4. Halfway through the regular season of 2019. Landon, thanks so much for coming on with me, man.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
Good. Good luck. Come back again next time you're in town. All right, that's the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Stay tuned. Rebels with 2 pro physical therapy touchdowns today and fail on both their Rich County 4-H extra point attempts. We've got your post-game show brought to you by Epic Recreation when we return on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
What could be better than a fresh, mouth-watering burger from the Crawford Trough in Randolph? Top it with cheese and thick-cut bacon, or throw in some mushrooms and make it a double. Now we're talking. Add home-cut fries and a creamy shake, and you might just think you're in paradise. With crisp salads and tasty wraps, plus onion rings, perfectly cooked chicken, cold drinks, and silky smooth ice cream, the Crawford Trough is the place to eat and drink at 120 South Main in Randolph. Welcome to the Epic Recreation post-game show. Epic Recreation, make your vacation an epic one to remember. Visit epicrecreation.net for all your rentals in Bear Lake. Time for the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Recap. Jimmy John's, where fresh and fast meat at 113 Front Street in Evanston. That's Jimmy John's. Rebels hosting the Layton Christian Eagles in 2A North Region play, and Rich jumped out to a 6-0 lead early. Rebels threw an interception early, but defense looked solid. They really shut down Layton Christian's offense through most of the first half. Midway through the second quarter, Rebels forced a fumble. Kyler Wilson fell on it, and the Rebels put together a 6-play, 54-yard drive to go up 6-0 after they failed on the extra point. Layton Christian answered on their very next possession, and Coulter Wheelwright found Malik Johnson for a 7-yard touchdown pass. They made their extra point to go up 7-6. That took us to the half, and in the second half, the Rebels got down inside the Layton Christian 5-yard line, turned it over on downs, and the Eagles made them pay. 11 plays, 94 yards, and a touchdown. when they went up 13-6. Coulter Wheelwright, the first of his 2 rushing touchdowns on the day. Layton Christian's next possession after a Rebel 3-and-out, Wheelwright found Ulrich Sutton for a 7-yard touchdown pass, and the Eagles went up 19-6. Eagles would score one more time to make it 26-6 late in the fourth quarter after a 7-play, 54-yard drive was capped off by a 4-yard touchdown run from Coulter Wheelwright, and Layton Christian was rolling 26-6. Rich, with a couple of possessions late, put together an 8-play, 80-yard drive. Riley Carrillo found Kyler Wilson 15 yards over the middle of the field for a touchdown. Wilson's second touchdown catch of the day made it 26-12. Rich attempted the onside kick, recovered, but couldn't make much happen in the final 43 seconds of the game, and Layton Christian won 26-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard. That's your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Rich drops to 0-4 on the season. Layton Christian improves to 1-3. Jimmy John's, where they spend 6 hours daily slicing all natural meats and fresh produce for your 30-second sandwich. Let's jump ahead in our post-game show to the Stacy's Repair Diagnostics and chat with Coach Justin Grohl. Coach, your defense in that first half, you guys really, up until that final drive Layton Christian had, you shut them down pretty well. What was going on? What was working for you defensively?
Well, we had some mistakes on defense. We had to shift a few people around. Hayden Meek getting hurt, and we threw a few people in there that we usually don't play in that position. So, it kind of hurt us for a little while, and then we just kind of tried to get them to relax and play and help them. And, so it helped a little bit, but just when you get thrown out there, you're used to playing one position, you get thrown out in another, it's hard to make that switch really fast. And, so that's kind of what hurt us a little bit.
How did you feel overall about the game today, the performance from the guys?
We've improved. We're scoring. We're moving the ball. There are some things we need to make sure we continue to block and tackle. Tackling was really, really good for a while, and then we kind of had a brain lapse and started tackling high, and that just run right by us. And blocking and that just kind of not stepping where we should have, and not getting the block, and receivers just running by and kind of tapping them. And so there was some things we need to work on.
Some bright spots today. I thought Riker Conk ran the ball hard. He had some nice runs, finished with positive yardage. Kyler Wilson, 3 receptions, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Riley Carrillo, a rough start, but he really pulled it together, had a nice second half. That last interception is kind of a throwaway garbage pick, but had a really nice second half.
Yeah, he's learning. There's a couple. There was the first half. He got that interception, or he kind of tried to throw it, and they had him in the grasp. And with age and with experience, he's just going to take and tuck that and take a sack instead of throwing it and letting them get it and move all the way down. So give us another chance instead of turning the ball over. So he's learning, he's growing, and he's doing a good job.
Learning and growing. In Monday's film session, I heard one of your assistants, R.B. Weston, say, hey, Riley, if you have a chance to duck out of bounds, do it. We saw Riley do that on a play. And a couple of times last week, you guys thought, well, he should tuck and run rather than throw it. And we saw him do that again today a couple of times.
Yeah, he did some really good. There was 2 or 3 times that everybody was covered down, and he saw the field wide open, and he tucked it and run and got us some first downs, got out of bounds. Couple of plays, ones that we called, and everything was just not there, and he knew that there was going to be disaster. Mm-hmm. And so he kind of just took it upon himself to help and run something a little bit different right at the spur of the moment. And so he's learning really fast, but there are still some of those growing pains that he's going to have to go through.
Gotcha. Next week, you're back at home, homecoming to facing the North Summit Braves. Do you know anything about North Summit?
They've got a pretty good team. They are fast. They really like to run the ball. They got some pretty good receivers, and they'll come and hit you. So they're going to be a great challenge. It's a good team.
Anything right now off the top of the head? Obviously, you'll watch film and learn and figure out some more things. But what do you need to see you guys do better to beat North Summit next week?
We just need to be more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have some really, really good times, and then it's like it's almost like we haven't played. It's just we're out there trying to play street ball, and we're like, what's going on? So we got to just keep consistency. We've figured out how to do a few things now, and we're getting better. We're scoring, but we just got to make sure that now we're consistent on everything.
Gotcha. Coach, anything else you want to touch on?
No, I think that's it.
I sure appreciate you coming up, talking with me after every game, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Justin Grohl, head coach of the Rich Rebel football team, on our post-game diagnostics, brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Need a repair? Take it to the ones who truly repair. Thanks again, Coach. We've got more of your Epic Recreation post-game show coming up, including some post-game highlights and stats when we return on The Wildlife and mylocalradio.com. You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on mylocalradio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports boosters, the Wilson Ranch in Randolph. Good luck, Rebels, from Dale, Kim, Kyler, and Casey. Remember, the harder you work, the more good luck you'll have. And by Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply, a custom shop specializing in leather and wood goods, with a farm feed and supply store to boot. Proudly supporting the Rich Rebels, the Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply Store.
When T7 Propane in Woodruff, Utah is your propane supplier, you get reliable, safe, and professional propane service. And that's not all. T7 Propane offers years of expertise, quality product, and the most responsive propane service in the area. For home or other heating needs, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for professional or business propane needs. Call 435-793-4208. That's 435-793-4208.
Is it time to stop wishing for your dream home in beautiful Bear Lake? If you're ready to make your dream a reality, Bear Lake Realty can help. With residential and land listings, including vacation properties, timeshares, cabins, condos, beachfront, lake view, and more, Bear Lake Realty has what you're looking for. And with more than 30 years of real estate experience in the area, you know you're working with the best. Visit BearLakeRealty.com and come and enjoy the Caribbean of the Rockies with us.
Rich. They scored first, led 6-0, but Layton Christian reeled off 26 unanswered before Rich put one more on the board late in the fourth quarter. Wasn't enough. Too little, too late. Other games going on tonight in 2A North. Gunnison is at North Summit, Monticello at Duchesne. And then in the South, Enterprise plays at Milford, North Sevier at Kanab, Parowan at Millard, and Beaver has a bye. Millard, the top-ranked team in the state by the RPI rankings. Beaver second. Millard, boy, they showed their strength last week, a 56-0 win over Monticello. Some quick highlights and stats for you as we wrap this thing up. We'll hear from Corgan Conk a little bit about the Rebel. He's vice president of the Rebel student body, so we'll hear from him on our Rebel Sports Update. And then we'll also have coming up the Western Ag Credit post-game look ahead or roundup calendar. That's coming up, brought to you by Western Ag Credit. But first, a little bit more on your Epic Recreation post-game show. I had Rich with 235 yards of offense. And as Coach Grohl mentioned, that's a definite improvement. We've seen improvement from week to week. The Rich, and I'm not bringing this up to hit some sore spots or anything, but just to show that improvement. Against Kanab, Rich had negative 32 yards of offense. against Bear Lake. They improved to 46. Last week, 169 yards of offense, and today, 235 yards of offense against Layton Christian. And by the RPI, Layton Christian a better team than Gunnison Valley was that Rich played last week. So, Rich, some good improvement. Riley Carrillo finishes 7 of 14, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, the 1 interception. His second half, if you take out that last interception, was just a heave at the end of regulation, a garbage throw. His second half, he was, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 attempts. He completed 4 of those, so 4 of 7. Actually, and take away the interception, 4 of 6 for about 122 yards with a touchdown. And in fact, add in that 29-yard touchdown pass at the end of the first half, or near the end of the first half, and Riley really put together a nice stretch in the third and fourth quarters. But unfortunately for Rich, need a little bit more. And you heard Coach Grohl say it, they got to be more consistent. So Carrillo finishes 163 passing yards, Rich with 235 yards of offense. Layton Christian, led by Coulter Wheelwright's 273 yards of offense and 3 touchdowns. Wheelwright, 237 yards through the air on a very efficient 15 of 20 with a touchdown, and then 2 rushing touchdowns and 36 yards on the ground. Layton Christian finishes with 309 yards of offense. William Johnston, the biggest portion of that on the ground, 26 rushing yards on 7 carries. Some final stats for you. The Rebels dropped to 0-4, but again, as we mentioned, as Coach Grohl mentioned, the improvement is encouraging. 26-12, the final on the Station on Main scoreboard. Let's jump right into our Rebel Sports update and hear about a little bit about what's coming up next week in homecoming. With Corgan Conk, a senior at Rich High School. Corgan, the vice president of the student body, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
How do you like being VP so far?
I like it a lot. It gives me the opportunity to be a leader to my fellow students. It prepares me for life. I really like it. It's a good leadership position.
Are you seeing leadership opportunities outside of, and we'll talk about this some more, but planning activities and having meetings to do planning and stuff, other opportunities to be a leader?
Yeah, as a senior, I see a lot of opportunities to lead among younger classmen and on the football team as well. It's kind of definitely an interesting change to actually have your voice heard instead of hearing voices from the older upperclassmen. So,
do you notice some of the kids kind of go, well, he's the vice president? Maybe subconsciously they look to you a little bit?
I would think so. I don't like to be super like, oh, I'm vice president, so this. I like to be one of the guys. I like to be in it with them.
Corgan, let's touch on football real quickly. How do you feel like the season's going? 0-3, a close game at Gunnison last Friday.
Yeah, Gunnison is by far our best game that we've played so far this season. I'll be frank, we should have had it. They wanted it more in the second half. It was their homecoming, but I think if we meet up with them again, they're not going to stand a chance. Our defense was eating them up, and we were moving the ball. So.
Got Layton Christian this week. That's another game. If you look at scores, you guys should be right there and have a chance to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Layton Christian's going to be a good game. So if we can beat them, and that'll be just fantastic.
Corgan, let's get back to student body type stuff, school. What are you guys planning? I mean, with the focus right now, I imagine, will be next week's homecoming?
Yeah, so for homecoming, our theme is for Ever a Rebel of this year, and then we have chosen era, so each class is going to do an era, and then they'll design and decorate their float based on that. So we have a lot of good ideas. We also have a dance that's coming up as well.
When you say era, are you talking about like the freshmen have the 20s, the sophomores have the 40s, or something like that, or what do you tell me about it?
So the seniors have the 80s, the juniors have the 60s, the sophomores are the 70s, and the freshmen are actually the 50s. So,
as a senior, you got the 80s. So you have some good plans for that?
Yeah, it's the best year for the music, and we have a few ideas for some cars that we're going to do, lots of neon colors and big hair. So,
are you a fan of Stranger Things?
Yeah. I watched it before. It actually got super popular, so I like to think of myself as one of the originals.
A lot of 80s stuff there to look to.
Yeah, definitely watch some of that for some inspiration.
What other events or activities have you guys got in the works? Back burner for now because of homecoming, but what are you working toward planning for the rest of the year?
So for the rest of the year, we have prom, stuff like that. I like to dance, so I'm really pushing towards more dances. It's kind of one thing that I wish we had more dances in high school. I wish we had more.
Do you get a feeling that a lot of the students, are dances well attended? Do you think students would like more dances too, the rest of the student body?
A lot of the students don't like to dance, and I don't get it because why would you not want to learn how to dance? But we usually have pretty good turnouts in the dances before. So,
do you know any dancing, like you do country swing or the cha-cha or anything like that, or you just get out and jam?
So me and my friend Colton are active in 4-H, and they've actually asked us to teach dance instructions at 4-H State and Logan. So we swing dance, we line dance, and slow dancing, but it's always fun to get out there and swing. So,
Corgan, anything else we should touch on about you as vice president, student body, government activities, planning, stuff like that?
I don't think so. We got this year pretty well figuring out as long as we're going, and it's all looking really good. So.
Senior Corgan Conk at Rich High School, the vice president of the student body. Thanks so much for your time, and good luck with Layton Christian this week and the rest of your school year.
Thanks, Ryan.
Well, thanks so much, Corgan. Pleasure to talk with the senior vice president of the student body, Corgan Conk. Stay tuned. One more break, and we'll be back to wrap this thing up. Take a look at what's the rest of this weekend look like for Rich County activities, and a little bit of a look ahead at next week's homecoming festivities as well. That's coming up on the Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. When it comes to farming and ranching, it makes good sense to work with a lender who understands finance and agriculture. Western Ag Credit is an independent cooperative owned by the farmers and ranchers who borrow from it. With competitive rates, your loan is tailored to match your business needs. Real estate, livestock, equipment, and operating expenses. When it comes to farming and ranching financing, Western Ag Credit in Evanston is your partner in agriculture. Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net. Back on the Epic Recreation post-game show. You can maybe see if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. Layton Christian, they got a nice charter bus. They don't ride the regular school bus. But they come out of here with a 26-12 win over the Rich Rebels. Rich scored first, led 6-0, but 26 unanswered by Layton Christian before Rich put one more on the board late in the fourth to finish it out at 26-12. Our post-game show is brought to you by Epic Recreation. For all your recreation rental needs, visit epicrecreation.net or find them on Facebook. Well, they've got it all in the Bear Lake area. Moving along in our post-game show, final segment is the Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar. Western Ag Credit is your partner in agriculture, and they have the food drive going on now. It's the Farmers Feeding Families food drive going on through October 11th. Don't miss your opportunity to help feed families. Anything donated through Western Ag Credit, the folks there at Western Ag Credit will match. And so that's a good opportunity to double your donation. Western Ag Credit, a lender who understands finance and agriculture. Tomorrow, Rich Rebel volleyball team gets back into action early on. The Rebels host Westside. And Westside is celebrating homecoming this week. And so they said, hey, Rebels, can we have our volleyball match earlier than we had planned? Rich said, yeah, sure. So 10:15 is the start time of tomorrow's match. The JV and freshman sophomore matches will be at 9 o'clock, I believe, in the two separate gyms. And then our varsity pregame coverage will begin at 9:45 tomorrow morning. As you can see there on your screen at mylocalradio.com on the Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar. Now, also tomorrow, Rich Rodeo Club is at the Cedar Rodeo. That begins at 9 a.m. They were at the Enterprise Rodeo today. That began at 3 o'clock. Royals volleyball team is at Green River, 10 a.m. And the Royals football team is actually hosting Mountain View tomorrow. So that's a mistake on my part there on your Roundup calendar. That football game, the 7th and 8th grade games begin at 10 a.m. That's here at Rich High School because of field conditions at Laketown at the middle school. So that's right here, Rich Royals football. Also tomorrow, if you're a Wyoming Cowboys fan, don't miss the Cowboys looking to go to 4-0. The Pokes at 3-0 this season play at Tulsa tomorrow, And you can tune in live on KADQ 98.3 FM. Pregame's at 12:30 with a kickoff at 1:30 tomorrow right here on KADQ. Looking ahead to next week and Rich High School's homecoming. It's Monday, September 23rd through Saturday, September 28th. And I'm sure there are a lot of other festivities going on throughout the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to jump ahead to Thursday and our next Rebel volleyball match, our next Rebel broadcast after tomorrow morning's match against Westside. The Rebels will host the Lyman Eagles, a team they played competitively with at the Cokeville tournament earlier this season. So Rich hosts Lyman next Friday night with the varsity at 7:45. Our pregame will start at 7:15. Then looking ahead to Friday, homecoming parade here in Randolph. Rebel football will host North Summit with the varsity kickoff at 4 o'clock. There will be a JV game for that as well at 1. And then Rich volleyball returns to Region 22 play, hosting ICS. That'll be a big one Friday night in volleyball at Rich High School. And Saturday, the Rebel volleyball team travels out to Manila. We'll cover that match as well right here on KADQ. That's just some of what's going on next week on the Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar. That wraps up our Epic Recreation post-game show. For all your rentals in Bear Lake, visit epicrecreation.net or find them on Facebook. That also wraps up our post-game show and our broadcast. Again, a final score, 26-12. Layton Christian earns the win. The Eagles improved to 2-3 overall, 1-1 in the region. Rebels dipped to 0-2 in the region and 0-4 overall ahead of next week's homecoming game against North Summit as the Braves come to town from Colville. That'll do it for tonight. Our videographer was Rob Leifson. Thanks so much. Our producer back in the studio, Preston Bush. I'm Ryan Steineckert. Don't miss tomorrow morning, Rebel Volleyball in action. Pregame's at 9:45 as Rich hosts Westside. Until then, we'll talk with you again soon.
You've been tuned in to Rich High School football on Rebel Radio KADQ FM 98.3 with video streaming live online at mylocalradio.com. Today's game has been brought to you by Auto Farm Chevrolet, Evanston Regional Hospital, by Plains Tire, the Come On In of Casper, by Westar Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, Cash Honda Yamaha of Cache Valley, by the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, and by mylocalradio.com. The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of mylocalradio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media. Our executive producer is Val Cook. We thank our office manager, Kayleen Anderson, and our sales manager, Julie Burley, along with Evanston's Elin Olaf, the Valley's Jake Hibbard, and production assistants Preston Bush and A.J. Lamb. The biggest thanks of all goes to our sponsors and to you for tuning in. We invite you to visit mylocalradio.com for archived games and past interviews with Rebel players and coaches, and like My Local Radio on Facebook to stay up to date with the games. Thank you for joining us on this presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on KADQ FM 98.3 and mylocalradio.com. Until next time, go Rebels!